Welcome back to another episode of Touching Base. I'm Zach Miller, joined by my co-host Vance Neidig, and we're thrilled to have this young entrepreneur from right here in Norfolk. Dylan, thanks for making time to be here today.
Yeah, of course.
We always like to get a little background on everyone first. So, are you originally from the area?
Yep, I'm grown and raised in here.
Right here in Norfolk?
Oh, yeah.
Awesome. Did you go to Norfolk High?
Yep.
How was that experience? Recently, about a year now?
Yeah, I just graduated in May 2024. So, yeah, I don't know. I went through the entire Norfolk public school system. It was good. I don't know, it's not like I had any like major complaints. I don't know.
Felt like you got a good education?
I would say so.
Good.
I hope
good.
so.
Were you involved in any sports or activities or anything?
Yeah, I did baseball like majority of my life. I mean, ever since I was like 3.
I didn't know that about you.
Yeah, I quit when I was like 14, my freshman year of high school, because my arm. Oh man, it was bad. I used to be pretty good at baseball. I went to Florida when I was like 9 to play for the Central Region team.
Oh, really?
But yeah, I was a pitcher, and yeah, that really took a toll quick. 'Cause
Yeah.
my shoulder just went. It just got fried. I mean, even now, I throw a ball, I can throw like 3.
Like rotator cuff stuff, or?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I never like really got it looked at because I was kind of getting fed up with baseball too. Like I didn't. If I wanted to, I would have kept trying to play and like maybe go to the doctor, maybe get surgery, whatever I needed.
Mm-hmm.
But I just kind of fell out of love with it.
Yeah.
But I also played football. I played football. That I never quit. Played my entire life again. I went through the Y when I was a kid, and then as soon as school ball came and junior high, I think 7th grade is the first time
Would they have had tackle already when you were young? Like when you
Yep.
were young?
third grade.
Okay.
Is when they start that. I think you can get into like flag football in 1st and 2nd grade, but yeah, 3rd grade played tackle football all the way up till my senior year.
They never had tackle football for us until about 7th grade. Like
Really?
once we started at school, at the
Wow.
middle school. At that time, we were at the middle school,
Yeah.
and for 7th grade, and that's when we started tackle. It was flag football all the way up till then.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
That's
Wow.
what mine was, and you couldn't do tackle until 7th grade.
Jeez, that's
Yeah.
boring. That'd get boring.
Right. What position did you play?
For high school anyway, I was a outside linebacker.
Oh,
and
okay.
then I was a receiver, but my senior year I was a tight end. So
Okay.
I got a little bigger, but
Beefed up a little bit.
beefed up a little bit because I was always a scrawny kid. I was always like, I was 6'1", but I'd be 155 pounds,
Right.
soaking wet. So I was like, people would tap me and I'd fall over. But yeah, it was a lot. It took a lot of eating, a lot of lifting. But,
Did you put on quite a bit of muscle between junior and senior year then?
oh yeah, I was probably 175 pretty consistently my junior year, but then I got to like 195 my
Nice.
senior year.
That's a good weight to be at that position.
Yeah,
That was about what I was 195, 200. Not
Yeah.
anymore.
Not anymore.
195, 200 back then.
Yeah, the goal was to be strong enough so you could hurt somebody, but
Right.
not be slow.
Still be quick. Yeah.
Right, because
That's
an
it.
outside linebacker, you have to do pass coverage. I mean,
Right.
a lot of times you're the second safety, which makes no sense. But
Did you play both ways then in
Yeah.
high school?
yep,
When I played coach, we were always one side of the ball. I always wish we could have done both ways, but
yeah. Our football program, we had about 8 kids. I mean, 11 people on the field. 8 of them were going both ways.
really,
Yeah.
the whole time, huh?
Oh yeah.
That's wild. Conditioning's got to be crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. But you're still like gassed throughout the game.
Right.
So
Who's the head coach now? I don't even know.
Chris Kuzer.
Who's Kuzer? I
I
don't
thi-
think I know who that is.
Yeah, he started my sophomore year.
Okay.
It always was. You guys probably did. You guys play in Norfolk?
I did.
I went to Battle Creek.
Oh, gotcha. It was Olson.
Tom Olson up until
Yeah,
then.
Yeah.
So up until your sophomore year, huh?
Right.
I always thought it'd been longer than that. Interesting. Any other activities or anything?
No, I didn't really do much. I still don't. Like even at college, I don't get myself involved with much.
Yeah.
I just kind of do my own thing.
That's cool. What? Where are you going to college?
So I went to Northeast last semester, but we were talking about high school. I took 43 dual credits.
Oh my
So
goodness.
I came into Northeast with 43 credits already, so I needed 17 to graduate. So I just I took 21 because I ended up really liking one, like networking stuff like that. I ended
Yeah.
up really liking that, so I took another class. But I took 21 credit hours last semester and
Wow.
graduated with my associates.
That is wild.
Jesus. I didn't even know that. That's
I didn't know that was possible.
Yeah.
43 going into college.
Yeah.
That is
I was
wild.
grinding them out in high school.
Most people only take like what, 12 in
yeah.
a semester,
Yeah.
oh yeah, 12 to 17.
and you just did 21 in one semester.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Jeez, brainiac over here.
Yeah.
Did you have time for anything else? I guess you said
Still
you
have
don't
my
do a whole
business.
lot on the business. Yeah.
Yeah.
So school and business, huh?
School, business. I had a girlfriend at the time, so that also took a lot of time. But
Jeez, busy guy.
it was a lot. I went
How'd you
from
decide to
doing
go to
nothing-
Northeast?
Oh, because I had 43 credits to do them already.
You just like I already
So
just
it's
get it done.
Yeah, and it's cheap. It's so cheap. And like, I plan on going to a 4-year after. Like, I go to Wayne now.
Oh,
But it's why would I not knock it out? You know what I mean?
Mhm.
I already have 43 credits there. It is. I think it's 150 to like 200 per credit hour there, which is just amazing.
mm-hmm.
And so it was really cheap. I just
Jesus,
scholarshiped
that's
to
like
go
what
there.
it was at UNL when I went to UNL
That's
in 2004. Like
Really?
it was
That's
like
wild.
185.
That shows you how much things
Yeah,
have
I think
gone
it's
on.
And I thought that was stupid.
I think it's like 500 now. It's
Yeah. I want to say it was. I think it was under 200. Maybe it went up to 220 my first year. I know, like my second
I'm
year it
wrong.
jumped like $50.
maybe I'm wrong, but I know at a high school it wasn't free to take dual credit.
Yeah, I
It
remember that.
cost me $150 each class. So maybe
Interesting.
I'm getting that wrong because
No, you're probably right.
credit hours per class.
I know it's
150.
still
So it
pretty
was like
cheap to
50
go to
bucks an
Northeast.
hour.
Yeah,
I
but that
think
was
when you
high
do the
school,
dual
too.
credits, you get a cheaper
Yeah. Oh,
discount.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So what are you going to Wayne for then?
Computer science.
Computer
That's what I
science.
graduated with at Northeast, computer science, but like a transfer. Like it was an associates of arts, which is weird.
Yeah,
It should be
that makes
science,
sense.
but yeah, I'm going for computer science, getting my bachelor's there, and hopefully a
Staying
master's
along with
after
the
that.
with the business that you're doing,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
You said you're gonna go for your master's too.
I think so. I can't really decide on what yet because Wayne, their only master's program for IT stuff is IT management.
Yeah.
Which, I guess that's something that would make sense. I own a business doing this stuff, but I really like software development.
Do you?
So, yeah.
What's the passion there? Is it like probably not like gaming development, right? It'd be more like
No, so I'm doing a lot right now. So for my practicum, I'm doing, but I'm done with it.
yeah.
For college at Wayne, my practicum was building an accounting software.
Okay.
You get to choose your project.
Right.
But I built all that website. I built that entire website myself.
Did you?
Yeah.
It looks good.
Thank you. And then, so I took what I learned from doing that, because that's my first time ever making a website and like going live with it. So I took what I learned from that and made an accounting software with it. So like kind of like QuickBooks. That was the goal. Was
Yeah.
to QuickBooks is insanely expensive for businesses, and like my aunt and uncle, they own a construction business, BL Construction around here, and they pay like $2,000 a year.
It's not
for-
cheap.
No, not at all. So I was thinking, I like supporting small businesses, and especially being a small business. No way I'm ever paying that at all. So, A, if I can just make my own, make it for me, that'd be perfect. But
Mhm.
B, I'd love to sell it at some
Right.
point too. It's nowhere near that point, but if I do get to that point, that'd be awesome. Just
That'd
be
be
able to
sick.
sell and make a cheap option finally for these businesses, and like make a good option too. There's a bunch of cheap accounting softwares, but they are very limited. So it just doesn't make sense to go with.
Ever since we went away from CDs for software and doing the either subscription or having to pay annually,
Yeah.
they have just skyrocketed. You used to be able to get a set of QuickBooks; it'd be good for 5,
Oh yeah.
6, 10 years, depending on updates and things. And now you're paying out the ass for a
Yeah,
software every year.
As a business, that is the smartest decision you can make, as a business, because that is, you want to talk about customer loyalty. That is how you maintain customer loyalty. As long as you're giving out a good value product, you have customer loyalty guaranteed.
Right.
'Cause now you rely on that software.
100%. Okay, so I want to divert a little bit from the business, and we'll talk a little bit about your old little gaming career that you had a little bit there. What drew you into competitive gaming, and how did you turn that passion into a professional career?
Yeah, so I always love video games. Who doesn't? So I was playing video games all the time, and during junior high, I was playing with my friends and stuff. Like, I'm just kind of realizing I'm like getting pretty good at this game. So I tried in like the World Cup. That was a Fortnite World Cup. I tried playing that. I got absolutely rolled, but I tried playing in that, and I loved it though. It was fun. It was really fun. So I started just keep playing, and you know, there was like Discord servers that you could join to play scrims and stuff like that. And I kept playing those. I was finding success in that, so I just kept going, playing all the tournaments I could, and I eventually got pretty good at it. And I started making some money. I got signed with a team. That took a lot of hours into that.
It was a lot of years too, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. I just said that in about 30 seconds, but that was probably 4 years, maybe.
From time to doing it to being signed by a team.
Yeah. Yeah. It was a lot of work, but it's just nobody does it around here.
Yep.
Like it was very
well. They try.
They try. However, it was very new. Like when I first started getting into it, or like when I was finding success, and like I was making my own brand or whatever, I'm getting bullied left and right for it because it's just not a thing.
Right.
Well, it's not a thing here, and like the LAN party really helped that. And it was just like it gave my confidence because it's like I found people that were like accepting of it. I don't know how to explain it, but yeah, it was very cool. But back to the gaming part.
You were kind of a mini celebrity there.
Yeah, I guess so. It was fun. I loved it. But yeah, I found a lot of like success in it when I was playing these tournaments, and like I said, I ended up making money. I started streaming too. That was like probably how I made most of my money, was streaming actually.
So it was the streaming, not with like the deal with the team?
Right. The deal with the team, I mean, that kind of goes with everyone. Like the contract that you sign, it's not like a lot of money, but it gives you a lot of recognition. That's kind of at that level anyway, because it's not like I was joining FaZe.
So it's more like co-branding,
right?
A little bit. You guys bounce off each other.
Yeah, you get some money, but it's like, I mean, if you want me to be honest, it's like $40 a month. So
gotcha.
It's not, you're not living off of it.
No,
you might buy a couple box of Pop-Tarts every month, but that's about it.
Might get you half a mouse,
right?
Actually, part of a keyboard.
Exactly.
Did they have deals where you like? Was that part of it too with that contract? Did you have deals where you could buy? Did they have deals with any of the manufacturers?
They had deals. It wasn't manufacturers. It was more just like Gamer Subs and G Fuel and stuff like that. Gotcha. I could get it really cheap. I just didn't do it. I didn't like it. I like Celsius. That's my go-to.
That's your drink of choice?
Yeah.
Yeah. That G Fuel got kind of crazy. Everybody was doing gamer codes.
Yeah, I know. We had a good one. I think it was like 30% or something.
Really?
Like that. If you were
you don't see that very often.
If you were in the team.
Oh,
it was
if you
different
were
if you were in the team.
Gotcha.
Yeah. They had a public one too.
Yeah.
I think that was like 15, and that's pretty normal, I think.
Yeah. Usually 10, 15%. And then sometimes they'll give a big streamer like a Tim the Tap Man.
Yeah.
Will get 30% with their code or something like that. Yeah. That went wild I don't see it too often anymore.
Yeah.
But that's pretty crazy. Can you share like a standout moment from your pro gaming career that you'll never forget? Like whether it was a big win or a tough loss?
Oh man, it had to be the time I won money for the first time. Oh, it was my parents had no idea what was going on. They thought I just got killed or something like that. Like I was screaming at the top of my lungs, like enjoy, because it was a lot of hard work that went into that. It was only $100, but like that was cool. Yeah. I made money playing Fortnite. That's crazy.
Yeah, you can prove to your parents that it was finally worth the time. Yeah. But they backed you pretty well.
Oh man,
they were behind
awesome.
you 100%.
I have the best parents. It was loved it.
I remember your dad always bringing you to the LAN party and helping you set up. And that's cool to have parents like that. So you won the tournament. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it was awesome. I won it and I made a lot of money. Not a lot, $100, but that was the first. So it was awesome. I know I was probably like a moment I still remember. It was just like happiness. I don't know how to explain it.
Was that a solo one?
Yeah.
Was it?
Yep.
Did you ever do any kind of like team-based stuff with that?
Oh yeah. So FNCS, that's the biggest tournament they have at Fortnite. Those are all teams.
Gotcha.
It was solos one time, I think, and that was a long time ago. But those are all teams. Usually duos, but when I was playing, it was always duos. There's trios. I don't know what it is now. I haven't really paid attention to it. But
we'll get into that in a minute. What was like the daily life being a professional gamer for you? Like, walk us through your routine from practice to tournaments.
It was a lot. Didn't get much sleep. So I'd go to school like what was that, 8 to 3:30, and I always had to do lifts for football. after school that just drained me. Those were tough. Everything till failure. Like 6 different workouts all till failure, and it was only like 30 minutes. It was terrible. So I was super tired, but it would be like 4 o'clock till I get home, and then it was very structured. I would warm up and train my aim, and then after that, that's about like 30 minutes. And now 4:30, train my mechanics and make sure those are ready to go. And then at 5 o'clock, there was always scrims. So you can get in these Discord servers. There's a big one that had like pros and upcoming pros in it. And you had to like qualify and whatever. So once I finally got into that, and that was like kind of the same time when I won that first tournament we just talked about. You get into that, and then so that was like 3 hours. That was 5:30 to 8:30 almost every day. So it was a lot. And then after that, people don't know this about gaming, but you have to actually like study gaming. It's very weird.
If you want to be good at it.
Yeah, you have to study gaming. So I would, all those games that I played, so the scrims are just like, 100 players in a Fortnite lobby.
The good players, right?
Yeah. Yep. You would get like a custom queue with 100 of the players in your skill set or whatever, all the pros and stuff like that. And then you'd have to like pick landing spots and stuff like that. It was extremely structured.
Mm-hmm.
And so you'd play, and then so after the scrims were done, I would have to review all of them. And I always had a teammate too, because like I said, the biggest tournaments were with teams. So I always had a teammate too that I'd have to study with, and it would take like an hour and a half to go through those games. So now that it's 10 o'clock, I would do wagers. So I would, well, I guess you have to call them tokens now because they started banning that. But
you can't say wagers anymore.
You can't gamble. But, so what I did was you'd go on this like website or something like that, and you would find people to basically 1v1 or 2v2, and you'd put $5 each, and if you won it, you get 10. So I did those all the time too, and those were good money.
I was gonna say, yeah,
those
you can probably get quite a few games in a night.
Oh yeah,
that's 100%. Wild. Was it always $5, or are you just saying $5 for the podcast?
I did not. I never went over 10. I never went over 10.
No,
I couldn't. I'm not a gambler. I can't do that.
When it came to those servers and you're talking about all these different, like, really good players, did you have to be a certain rank to get into those?
Yep. Yeah. So there was it's called PR. It's like a power ranking. So just like as a.
Move the mic just a little bit that way. You're good. There you go.
We good?
Yep.
All right. So just like, sports, they have power rankings. So does Fortnite, which is kind of weird, but it's basically a number.
Most games do, don't they?
Have
some sort of power rankings?
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah. So yeah, it's kind of like that, except it's not embedded in the game. It was actually like an external thing. So like, there'd be a website called Fortnite Tracker, and I think there's a
COD tracker.
Yeah,
There's a
it's
Overwatch
the same
tracker.
company. Yeah. So there's a Fortnite Tracker, and they give you a power ranking based on how you're placing in tournaments. And so with that number, that's how you would get in to these servers. Yeah. So and then that's how you like get ranked or whatever. So there would be like 4 different lobbies for each night of scrims or whatever. There'd be 4 different lobbies. Lobby 4 is like people that are they're just getting into it.
Mm-hmm.
Lobby 3 is people that are a little higher. Lobby 2 is a little higher. Lobby 1's the top. And so once you finally get into lobby 1, that's when you're really you're really learning a lot because you're playing with the best of the best. And so that's why studying was so important, because you have to see everybody. You have to know what they're doing all the time. And it's a lot to.
Did you ever study like your opponent too?
Yep.
So if you knew you were going up against somebody, you can see their tendencies type of thing? Or?
Well, because in Fortnite, when you play a tournament, it's not like scrims where you're in a set lobby and you know who's going to be playing, you know who's going to be next to you. In a tournament, it's random.
Right.
You can't really just like study one person.
And you can't see like game tags either anymore, huh? Or could you then?
Well, in a replay, like,
but not like in game.
No,
right.
No.
So you don't even know who you're playing against.
Right. Yeah. So what I did was I would find tendencies within multiple players, multiple teams.
Got you.
So I'd study that, and so I'd go into tournament games because you can review all the tournament games too. That was another big thing. Once you get done playing a tournament, you take an entire day to look over. I mean, even like 6 or 10 games. It was a lot. It was like studying. It was more studying than actually like playing.
Right. It's most with anything though. Any kind of job, any kind of
Well, that kind of like really taught me how like valuable knowledge is. That's crazy. Mm-hmm. Knowledge can literally get you anywhere now.
Right.
Where was I? What was I talking about?
Doing the scrims.
Oh,
studying people.
Tendencies. Yeah. So I'd go into these tournament games, and then like I said, there was about 10 games of tournament. I would mark down where everybody went, all 10 games. I could kind of see their loop path. I could see what paths they're going, and so like in what times they were there. So like surge was a big thing. Storm surge.
Yep.
You need certain damage before every zone closes in order to like not get tagged or whatever, just to make sure that everybody's still fighting.
Mm-hmm.
So that, like you could expect where people are going to be to tag them and to get hits and damage on them. So you'd always be okay on surge.
So everybody had a good tendency of like they kept the same path.
Like it was an average game. Like it was an analytics game, honestly. Like, because you had to. I mean, you can't be right 100% of the time, but you have a good chance if you study.
Did most teams do their same path every time?
Oh yeah.
Wow. Is that something you guys did too?
Mm-hmm.
Everybody kind of kept the same path.
It's kind of what you do. There's like conditions to it. So like if the zone pulls here, then you go here instead. Or if there's if there's a team already here, then we'll go here. There's a lot of like conditions to it, but otherwise it was pretty. Like when you're picking out a landing spot, these are things you have figured out already.
Right.
So
who are some of the most people or the most famous people you played against that you know of?
When you get into that lobby one, that's like, that's everyone right there.
So you're playing against the top people.
That's kind of everyone there. Whoever, if they're playing anyway, like you don't have to play every time, but like Booga, you probably heard of Booga. Yeah, he was always playing those. I don't know how many people you guys are gonna know. I don't know how involved.
I know quite a few, but you're probably gonna say something that I have no idea.
I could just start going. Booga, Acorn, Cold. I kind of forgot these people too. Booga, Acorn, Cold. Peter Bott.
I know that one.
Man, I'm blanking. I don't know anybody anymore.
Isn't like Cypher PK like one of the top players? Is that his name?
That was maybe 6 years ago. He was the top.
Was it? He's not up there anymore?
He was just a casual when I was playing.
I thought he was a top guy. Okay.
Yeah, I don't really know.
Some of those guys probably fell off and started doing other content.
Like Ninja. You don't.
Well, he's not.
You would say like 6-7 years, however long ago that was. He was the best player, not even close by the time I was playing.
Right.
He was a casual. He wasn't trying to do that anymore.
So. Right. That makes sense. How did you handle the pressure of high stakes matches and like the expectations from like any kind of fans or sponsors? Did you have expectations from?
Yeah. Because to stay on a contract, you have to. There wasn't like written down certain requirements you had to meet, but there was incentives. Like you get, so like these solo tournaments, that'll be the easiest to explain. So like you can get top 100 or whatever, and if I got top 100, I made an extra like $10 that month or something like that. So there was incentives. It was a lot of pressure. It was a lot, but just like kind of maintaining, like being grounded to like what you're actually doing. You're playing Fortnite. Like you're just having fun. So just like kind of grounding yourself in that, and like that really gives you like peace and just like I don't know how to explain it. Like you're not. I don't know why I'm trying to say overestimating, but you're not making the situation way more like overcomplicated.
Yeah.
Than it needs to be. You're playing Fortnite and you want to win. That's it's simple. You know what I mean? So if you can just keep that mindset, like you're pretty composed. Composure was the biggest thing too, because a lot of people start getting shaky when they get in end games and stuff like that. Just take a deep breath. You're playing Fortnite. It's okay.
Yeah. Did you ever have any like big blow ups where you got real mad?
Oh my gosh, it was bad. Ask my parents. It's bad.
I'm sure.
Yeah, there were some times. I'm not proud of it. I feel like I've changed.
It happens. What was the toughest challenge you faced in like the esports industry, and how did you overcome it?
Well, we live in Nebraska, and we don't have the best internet here. We are the farthest point away from any Fortnite server. Especially when I was playing. I don't know what it is now, but when I was playing, we were the farthest point away because there was North America West, and those servers were like in San Diego, and then there was North America East, and those servers were like in Pennsylvania. So we are the farthest distance. So my ping, and in Fortnite, ping is extremely important because that's if you have someone take your wall you might, I mean, you would probably die. Like that was how big of a
Seconds are key.
Yeah, right.
In games like that.
Yeah. So my ping, it was always just crap. Like I never really had good internet, so that was the biggest challenge for sure, and that maintained throughout my entire career. It was
What were you playing at, ping wise?
60,
Oof,
70.
Really?
Yeah, it was bad because I also didn't have fiber internet when I was playing. I had
that makes a difference.
Cable.
That makes
I mean, I had a
difference.
gig, but light compared to electricity. That's what I mean.
Yeah, because like we're up here, we're getting like 30 ping.
Yeah,
with the Allo.
Yeah,
so it's a big difference.
Yeah, I have Allo now, and I played like a year, not a year ago, like maybe 5 months ago, and yeah, ping's at 20. It's just awesome.
Big difference there. Yeah, ping's a big deal. Which game or gaming community had the biggest impact on your career, and why?
Oh, Fortnite for sure. I mean, that's the game I went pro in.
Yep.
I never really messed with anything else. I played Valorant. That was fun. I suck at it, but it was fun.
You always have good aim in any game you've played.
Well, because I aim trained. I didn't aim train on Fortnite. I aim train on this thing called Kovacs.
Yeah.
Kovacs aim train. I don't know if you guys have heard of it.
I've heard of that. Yeah. I've never used it, but
and I had like 400 hours on it. Like I spent a lot of time just mastering aim. I could tell you everything about. Well, maybe not anymore, but I could. Like tell you everything that went into aim because there's just so much like science involved in it. And it was cool to learn.
By the time that was a thing, and by the time I started playing on PC, I was too old to even probably train my brain to be able to aim any better.
Right. Well, what's the point of carrying? Like at that level, it's like
like I know I'm not going to be a pro here. So.
Right. And if you're not trying, what's the point? It's 400 hours clicking red dots. I get so old so fast.
But yeah, I would say you like any game, Overwatch, Valorant, you always had good aim, which obviously came from the
the
aim training.
I was very disciplined with that.
Yeah. How has the esports scene changed since you were a pro? And what trends do you see shaping its future? If you've paid any attention to it since you've left?
I've paid minimal attention. However, I've seen it to the point right now where you like the same pros that were pro when I was playing and even before I was a pro are still pros. And there's really nobody new. So what does that really tell you?
At least in the U.S.
Yeah, in the U.S. Yeah. That's kind of all I really paid attention to was just the U.S. players. But, yeah, what does that tell you? It means that the skill ceiling right, was that the word? I can't even remember the word anymore. Ceiling, whatever it was.
Skill ceiling,
is like it's at its peak and there's really no other like new players. Like if I were to restart and I were to get into it now, I think it would take me double the time to be a pro, just because there's just the skill gap.
Oversaturated.
Yeah, very oversaturated as well. Yeah, that's a good point.
It's the same thing that happened to streaming or even podcasts. I mean, the podcast market is oversaturated.
Yeah,
streaming is oversaturated. So I mean, it takes, like you said, double the time or even triple the time, or never.
Yeah,
getting to
or never
any point of,
and that was a very real realization when I was playing. Was this? There's potential that this will never happen. Like I never made an FNCS Grand Finals, that's the big tournament that everybody wants to make, and I had to come to terms with like that might never happen, and it was just because like I said, the same pros that made Grand Finals 3 years ago are still there.
Yeah.
So the room or like the margin for like a difference in players was so small that you would see maybe like 3 new teams every year.
That's wild. I have noticed I still pay a little attention to like the Overwatch community, and they're still trying to do the Overwatch League disbanded like 2 or 3 years ago, but they're still trying to do some version of it. And I've noticed a lot of the players either are the same or it's they're from Korea or China.
Yeah.
It's kind of
can't really tell the difference in their names.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's kind of crazy to kind of that you put it that way. What skills did you develop as a programmer that still you still use today or your life and your career?
Well, I don't know if I would call them skills, just because I don't really use my aim for anything. I mean, I turkey hunt, but I think that's pretty different.
It's not the same thing. You don't hunt turkey hunt with a mouse?
I guess not.
You haven't built yourself a robot to just do it massively?
Yeah. However, I think just there was some realizations that I made and just like some wisdom I gathered from it. And the biggest one is it showed me that I can do anything that I really put my mind to and work at, because a pro Fortnite player in Norfolk, Nebraska in 2021, like, are you kidding me? Like, that's just not you. People have these dreams when they're like in 6th grade, and that's it. They grow up.
Well,
right?
he's still got that dream right now.
Right. Well, yeah, and it's valid. That's what I'm trying to say. Is that it's so valid, and you can do it. Like, you can put your mind to it. And that's what really showed me, is that, when I started this business, I had confidence in myself. Like, I can do this. I can do these things that I put my mind to, and I've done it before. So that's something that I've really taken with me, I guess. That's the biggest thing that is just, it's given me a strive, and like, there's a risk that I take on as a business owner, and I have confidence going into them because I can bet on myself, and that's what really taught me.
Yeah, so it taught you work ethic. It taught you commitment. So I mean, there's lots of things that you learned how to. Actually, you learned, but like, you studied a lot, so you knew you could put your mind to something.
Yeah, well, that's another one. It's just like I was kind of mentioning it earlier. The value of knowledge, the value of knowledge in any field is so big, and it can like completely take you from level 1 to 100 just from knowledge. Not even just being good with technical skills. It is knowledge that really brings you just to a whole nother level. That's something that I've definitely learned, because that's what took me from just being good at the game to pro.
I would say, as a society, when we stop striving for knowledge, we're just gonna go downhill.
Right.
Completely.
Yeah.
And then you can see that somewhat nowadays anyway.
Yeah.
So it's kind of wild. Why did you decide to step away from professional gaming, and what was the transition like for you?
I wasn't really liking it. Like, come like 1 or 2 months before, I would always have to quit for football. I'm not gonna try and do a football practice and then be super tired and try to play in tournament. Plus, the tournaments was always at like 5:30, so there's no making them anyway.
Right.
So I always took like a 3 or 4 month break for football, and then so the time I came back and I was I was ready to play again. The game, I did not like the season at all. So that, get over it, right? I can get over it. There's been plenty of bad seasons, and like, it's still Fortnite. So usually I can get over that, but it was just like this time around, I really hated it, and I did not want to study anymore. I didn't want to like aim train anymore. I just didn't want to. I don't know what changed. I really don't. I couldn't tell you, but I just didn't have that drive to be a pro. I don't know how to explain it. I don't know what changed. I couldn't tell you.
Was the fun gone? Was that kind of the joy?
Fun
maybe
was gone a long time ago.
Yeah.
If I'm gonna be honest, when you play at a pro level, you're not just playing to sit down on a Friday night and play with your friends for 2 hours.
Right.
I rarely played with my friends.
Right. You probably couldn't, right?
Right. Yeah, because there wasn't really time, and it's crazy to say when you're playing Fortnite, you're just playing a video game. But like the things I was doing, like I was talking about, that very structured schedule that I had to stick to, that was there wasn't time. When was I going to do that? I'd have to do it at like midnight, and I don't want to. I have school the next morning.
Well, then you'd have to go enter a lobby probably.
Right.
And then I've always wondered why people want to cheat, and 2, why people want to, I can't remember the word, but like play down.
Yeah.
What's the word for that?
Smurf.
Yeah. Why would they want to do that? Like, where's the fun in that?
Fun, man.
I'm sure it is fun.
Smurfing's fun. I did that before. It's fun.
Yeah, but not for very long.
Not for very long. No, it's like, after the 3rd game, you're like, well, this is the same thing.
Right.
We'll do it again.
Right.
But like, you get to a point where it's like, all right, let's move on.
I've had it happen in some games, like where I'm a higher level than the people that I'm playing against, and it's like, it just doesn't. Like at the LAN party.
Yeah.
When we're playing Overwatch or something, and we play a team that's never played.
Well, especially in a team thing like that.
Yeah.
Because like, you're not getting all the kills. When you're playing solo, you're getting all the kills. You're
Right.
shooting everyone. It's pretty fun.
Right.
But yeah. That team, definitely not.
Yeah, it just feels, I don't know, just kind of
It's boring.
gross.
It's very boring. It feels wrong.
Yeah, it feels wrong.
Yeah.
Like you're picking on, picking on people. What's like one misconception about the professional gaming that you'd like to debunk for people outside the industry?
Okay, this goes to people probably not in my generation, but esports is a profession. That's a thing. And we are in that world now where esports is a profession, And it is totally acceptable to, have a dream like that and to try your best to succeed in a game. That's okay because there's money into it. There's money in it.
Well, being a TikToker is a profession nowadays, so I would assume esports is pretty valid.
I would say so. Yeah, right. There's an end goal with it. That's a lot of people, like my cousin, for example, he was playing Fortnite, and I'm like, or my aunt was saying, yeah, he's just going to go home and play Fortnite to my cousin. And I was like, hey, that's what I do. And he's like, well, there's no end goal in it. And that's the thing is like, if you have an end goal, you should not be like shutting people's dreams off when they have a goal in mind. It's not just to, burn 2 hours. It's to have an end goal and, make a profit from it.
Yeah. And even if you can't, I still think gaming is a good thing as long as you're keeping up with the rest of your life responsibilities,
yeah, right? 100%.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I've never been against it unless it's taking over.
But
anything can take over your life.
Yeah, for sure. There's levels to it, but like
just like any other addiction.
Yeah. I feel like gaming is like there's a different type of sacrificial level because you're isolating yourself. Like you're not doing anything else. Like, I could say I'm sacrificing a lot for my business, but at the same time, like I'm still I'm still going out and doing things, but I don't know. I just feel like it's different. I can't really put it into words, but
I've never been able to get people to understand it the way I try to explain it for myself. Cause obviously I'm not going anywhere with gaming, but I still game. Right.
Yeah.
And I do it because it's the only thing I can do that'll shut my brain off.
100%. Yeah.
Like literally the only thing that will make my brain completely stop thinking about anything else.
I noticed that, and that was a major difficulty when I was done gaming. As I noticed, I don't know, I'm gonna get personal here, but I had anxiety issues, and I never knew that until I was done gaming because I always had that disconnect, and it was always there. And so once that was gone, and I had time to think by myself, there it is. I had anxiety, and I feel like I fixed that now, but it's like. That was a big adjustment to make.
It's the thing. So you got what we have is the voices in your head.
Yeah.
Where you're thinking about everything all the time.
Oh, 100%. I'm doing that now.
There are people that don't have that. Isn't that wild?
I don't game at a level that shuts off. I literally need to game. I need to listen to a podcast. I need to watch sports.
Full stimulation.
I literally do 3 things at one time.
There's a reason I still game, do this podcast, and all the things that I do because those are the things that just shut my brain off from the day.
Right.
Yeah, I can have a crappy ass day and come here and sit and do one of these and kind of just makes me feel at ease for a couple hours.
Right, yeah. 100%.
That's the only way I've ever been able to really explain it to people.
Yeah.
When they're like, why are you still gaming it? How old you are? I'm like, because it literally helps.
People, and people will replace this for drinking. People will replace this for smoking. Like, you're gaming. You're not doing any harm to your own self.
Or gambling. Like I said, any other addiction.
Yeah, that's another thing.
Same thing. How did you balance physical and mental health? That's kind of right into the same thing we were talking about. How did you balance physical and mental health while competing at such a high level?
Okay, the physical level, I was working out like 2 or 3 times a day just because it wasn't football. And so, we'd have a in-school lift. So, like, third period, I've had strength and conditioning and stuff like that. So you do a workout. And then right after their school, you'd have football conditioning. And that was ass, man. That sucked. So physical wasn't really an issue, I guess. Mental, it was kind of hard because it's lonely. It's very lonely when you're gaming, and because you're not, like I said, you're not playing with any of your friends.
Right.
You're not, like you sacrifice a lot. To like when you have a goal like that, you sacrifice a lot of time. You don't hang out with friends. Like you're not the guy making plans. So it's very lonely, and to deal with that, it's like, I grew a lot spiritually. I'm a Christian, so I grew a lot spiritually when I was in that kind of mode because, like, there's always a friend. You know what I'm saying? There's always a guy that I can talk to. It was awesome. I don't know.
Right.
So I was able to grow a lot spiritually. It was lonely. There was not, like I said, the anxiety.
Yep.
Like I never experienced that until I was done. I don't know. And we talked about the pressure too. There was pressures for sure. Because especially, I was getting bullied a little bit. I wasn't like crazy. Like when I say I'm getting bullied, I mean I was getting like, people throwing comments here and there. Like I wasn't getting
like online or at like school or
well online I could handle, but like like my own friends were just like,
gotcha.
Yeah, he's gonna go home and play Fortnite, or like, hey, that's that Fortnite kid or something like that. I was like, I mean, just get on or something. I could get over it, but it was still there.
Yeah.
It was a lot of pressure to succeed because you want to prove these guys wrong. That's the big thing. You want to say, screw you, I'm making a lot of money doing this, and you're working at McDonald's or something like that.
Right.
Like, so that was the big pressure, and so that really motivated me too to work hard. I mean, that's what I converted pressure into, just working harder.
Anytime you're doing something outside the box, people are going to be jealous,
poo-poo
it, and try to say, "Oh,
right, it's not standard."
Yeah. We get that a little bit for this too, and it's like,
yeah,
I hope one day we're big, but even if we're not, we love doing this, and we'll never stop.
I don't get it. People don't really like that. They speak before they don't fully understand something.
Yeah,
a lot too.
That's a big thing. They just don't understand it, so they just want to attack it.
Right, exactly, and it's different. It's different. Podcasting is different.
Yep.
So
definitely. What advice would you give to young gamers who dream of going pro in esports?
There's a lot of sacrifices that you have to make to do it that you should think of before you do it. And these sacrifices include, like I said, the loneliness. You have to spend a lot of time playing. And there's loneliness involved in that because you're not always playing with your friends. And that was a big thing I had to get over too. It was like, I loved playing with my friends. It was fun, but I wanted to go pro, and that my friends are not going to make me go pro. So I had to, start playing with people that I didn't know in person, and start playing with people that are going to make me better. Another one is knowledge. Like what I keep talking about, like people will only, when they try to get better, they just do mechanic training. They do aim training. They work on their like builds or edits or whatever for Fortnite. They don't worry. They don't even they've never been into replays to actually study what they're doing. They've never watched a pro to gain information about how you can apply what they're doing and why they're doing it to your own game. That's something that nobody does. Man, I was watching YouTube videos of pros playing tournaments at school, bro. Like that's how invested I was into it.
Yeah.
Just to learn. And I had notes. I like when I was getting kind of closer to ending the career, I had a whole Discord server that I sold to people. I would sell it was a $5 buy-in because there was so much information there.
Right.
Of all the notes that I put. And yeah, it was a lot.
That's wild.
Yeah.
That's kind of the route I went with Overwatch at the time. I was never going to be anything crazy, but I learned the game.
Yeah.
I wanted to know the game inside and out because it was the only game I was going to play. I want to be good at it.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to do that. You can't just go pick up some of these, people just think they can go pick up a game and be decent. You got to know the ins and outs of it.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Because you can't.
Especially not back in the day, you could.
Yeah, you could.
Now you can't anymore.
Right. People have too much time. I mean, that's the end goal. I mean, there's so many players.
Somebody's putting more time into it than you are, no matter what.
Yeah. Right. And then another one is you are not limited by money, and you're not limited by your setup. You're not limited by your internet. Like I said, I was having issues with ping, and I still did it. You get over it. That's really because you can't do anything about it. You can complain about it, but it doesn't really. I learned that the hard way. It doesn't really get you anywhere.
And once people
that just made you adjust how you played.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Once people realize there's people that are in the UK that are in the top, whatever of the US.
Yeah.
They're paying it they're playing at 130 ping.
And that's how I practiced. I played in Asia.
There you go.
I played a lot of Asia tournaments on weekends, and it was late. It was 2 to 4 a.m. tournaments. They were late, but I got so much better because you just learn, like you were saying, you play different when you're on higher ping, and you were able to learn that and see, I can't hold a wall, so I'm going to do this instead. You really learn it. And so I used to watch, like I said, I used to watch these people in school or whatever. I used to watch EU pros just dominate North American tournaments with 130 ping. So I really studied how they played.
Right. That's good. That's good to do.
Yeah.
That's really cool. I like that. If you could go back and relive one tournament or match, which one would it be and why?
Oh man, That's got to be that one that I won.
The
first one.
First one.
That was so awesome. I still
Just the feeling.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh man. I had my mom started recording me because she's like, oh, something must be up. So she started
I
recording.
remember
me.
that video.
Yeah, and that went viral on Twitter, man. That had like 100,000 views or something on Twitter and like 3,000 likes. And I was not big on Twitter. You know, I'd post, but it was like 15 likes or something like that. That went viral. But yeah, definitely that tournament.
That's really cool. Anything else you want to say about the gaming thing before we kind of leave that?
I think I've said all I wanted to say about it. I mean, the big thing that I really want to emphasize is just, it's a thing now, and people need to start accepting that. Like there are careers to be had in gaming.
In any facet.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, let's get into the business, the meat and potatoes of what you're doing now. Yeah. So what sparked your passion for computers and technology, and how did that lead you to start your own business?
So in 7th grade, and this is kind of when I was starting to play Fortnite too. My computer sucked, man. I had an old, it's called an Alienware Alpha, and I don't know if you guys know what these are. These were not popular.
I've heard the name
Alienware.
Well, it's a Dell pre-built.
Yep.
Yeah.
For good reason, they weren't popular. They were little tiny boxes, like maybe 8 inches by 8 inches, and they were like a console. They were a console. That was the whole point. They were meant to be portable. And they were like 3 inches high and stuff like that. And it had just the worst specs. I didn't know anything about it.
Yeah.
I mean, I was in 7th grade.
Right.
And when I got it, I think I was in like 4th grade. So, I would crash like every game, or every 2 games. I'd run at most I was running 20 frames. It was terrible. So I was trying to convince my parents to get a new computer and to help me out with paying for them because I knew they were expensive. I didn't have a lot of money. I had Christmas money and birthday money and stuff like that. That was gonna help pay with, but not $1,000. So I was trying to convince them, and I was kind of realizing the only way I was going to be able to convince them was if I showed them, like, I know what I'm talking about. And because that was the big thing. They weren't confident that they were going to buy the right thing because they didn't know anything about it either. Yeah. So I was studying all these, like, different specs, different processors, graphics card. What does it all mean? How much do I need? And I was loving it. Absolutely loved it. I mean, I still have a paper about writing down everything that I need, just a note sheet, and I still have it.
Nice.
It's kind of cool. But yeah, that really sparked like an interest and stuff like that. So I was kind of like, man, I really want to do this. I want to build gaming computers for people. And I have a whiteboard in my room, and I wrote goals down in 7th grade about what I wanted to do, and like I had short-term goals, and I think one was just like get all A's this year or stuff like that. And but
did you achieve that one?
I did. I did. I had long-term goals too, and one was own a small web business owning gaming or selling. Own a small web business building gaming computers. I do that right now.
Yeah.
So I think this is so cool.
That is cool.
Yeah. And that was in 7th grade. I was 12 or 13 when I wrote that down. But then, I just kept running into issues with my own computer and fixing those. They were a pain in the ass sometimes, but like just the fulfillment, and I fixed it. Wow. I didn't have to take it into somebody. I fixed it.
Right.
I just kept going with that. And then, so the way I got into this was like the way I actually started it anyway was, I helped, like I said, I researched all the specs. So I knew what I was doing with specs. I didn't know how to put them together, but I knew what I was doing with specs. So I'd always like help people pick out PC parts and stuff like that. And so one of my friends, I helped him pick out all the parts, but he was going to try and build it himself. So I said, how about this? I'll build it for you for free, because I wanted to build one so bad.
Yep.
I'll build it for free, and if I break anything, I'll pay for it all. And of course, who's not going to go with that?
Right.
So I did it. It took me 9 hours, and I broke a fan, but I did it.
At least you didn't break the processor.
Exactly. Yeah, I broke a $15 fan. So, yeah, I did it, and it was just, you want to talk about fulfillment? That was awesome. That was the first ever one I built. I turned it on and it was working. That was a big thing.
That's always
it
the
turned
key
on,
when you build a PC.
yeah.
Is it gonna turn on?
Right.
Is it gonna do the right thing?
It turned on, no pops, no cracks, no nothing.
It didn't start on fire.
Right. Yeah. And so yeah, that was like the big spark for me. I'm like, wow, I can really do this. This is awesome. And I learned so much doing that too, because I didn't know how to like cable a computer. I didn't know where all these cables went. There's so many cables in a computer.
It's a lot.
Yeah, I didn't know.
And some of the kits come with cables you don't even use.
Yeah. Right. But yeah, and then so I just kind of I got into building like refurbished computers then. So I took a risk and I spent $150 on a broken computer I saw on Marketplace that still had pretty good specs in it, but their like a processor was broken or something like that. And then so I bought it, and I was able to get a new processor. I fixed it. I was turning on, tested it. It was all good, and I sold it for like $650. So like once I did that, I'm like, okay, man, I can really start.
I can do this.
Yeah, this is awesome. So I started my own business. That's how it got started, basically.
Just from a refurbished to a sale.
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, this is more than I won in Fortnite.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Honestly, yeah, it was. It was more than my biggest payout, that's for sure.
That's really cool though. What was like the moment? Like, so that was the moment that you decided to turn it into a business. That was
the moment I started. Yep.
That's really cool. I mean, that's really awesome.
Yeah.
What problem like does your business like aim to solve as a whole? Obviously, you talked about rebuilding computers.
Yeah.
Is that your main expertise?
Well, so I have, I'm in a whole bunch of different industries. I guess not industries, but I do like a bunch of different services for people, and they all aim to solve different problems. So the biggest one is computer repair. Computer repair is outrageously expensive. Like I'm not gonna name any names, but there's a computer company a couple miles that way that charges $85 an hour, and a lot of that is looking at circle spin. And that's average. That's like actually pretty low, and that's just crazy to me. So that was the big thing, is that like having just consumers are like, I saw my parents when I had a broken computer and I couldn't fix it. They had to pay that, or like, and just that really motivated me to offer a cheaper service. So that's the main problem that I'm trying to solve there, is just how can I offer a cheap service to these people that don't want to pay $85 for the computer that keeps crashing, because a lot of people, they just don't fix it then. I mean, that's the easiest solution for them, is they don't fix it. So I want to offer a service that, like makes it doable even. Like I think the biggest check for like a consumer or like that I handed out was like $120 in labor, and I felt bad, man. Like,
yeah,
that's a lot, because I mean, yeah, it was hours worth of work, but like $120 for a computer repair. I don't know. I can't seem to wrap my head around it, and that's probably not good if I wanted to.
Especially when it doesn't like involve.
If you're the one selling it,
right?
Yeah. It's okay to feel a little bad if you feel. You know, it's okay.
Especially that was my first time handing out a big check like that too.
Yeah.
Or invoice. Another problem that I try to solve is business solutions. That's kind of like the one I'm really aiming for too, because
there's more money in that, right?
Oh man. Yeah. But the issue that I see with business solutions is that they all go through managed service providers, and these people charge monthly contracts. So you have a certain amount of like hours that they'll help you out, run their systems and stuff like that, and they'll control this, and this. But yeah, if you want to outsource your IT department, that's fine. Yeah, for like bigger companies that works well, but for a smaller company, like maybe not for me, like I don't even have a business location, but for a company that had a business location and they're just kind of starting out, or they don't have any plans to go corporate or something like that, they're not gonna pay $1,000 a month minimum to have bare minimum IT support. They're just not doing that, and they don't need it either. So like the issue that I'm trying to solve is, how can I give these people a good service that's not a monthly payment, no commitment, but pay as you need me. Like if you need a guy to come fix your system, I'll come and fix your system, and I'm going to offer you an affordable rate and not something that's like thousands of dollars, because these people can't afford it. Maybe they can, but I don't want to spend $1,000 on a new computer.
So you don't charge a monthly fee to be like on call per se?
Nope, I charge just how much, like how long I'm there.
Yeah.
That's all I charge for. So like Meds and More, that's one of the main businesses that I help out. Whenever they have an issue, I mean, she just texts me on Messenger. Like typically people like make a service request on my website or something like that, or email me.
Yeah.
But I mean, she texts me on Messenger, and I'll just come over there. It's just that easy.
Nice.
Like it's no contract. There's no paperwork. It's just simple. This broke. Fix it, please, and it's fixed.
How'd you get that? Did you go in there and like offer your services?
Well, so I got pretty lucky. We go through Meds and More. Like that's our pharmacy.
We do too.
And she's so nice.
She's great.
Yeah. But so my mom went to pick up meds one day, and she must have saw on my Facebook that I was doing this stuff now. And so she was like, "Hey, is your son do computer work?" And she said, "Oh yeah. Yeah, my computer's getting really slow in here. I could really use a new one, or just at least him to look at it." And so that's kind of how that started. I went in there. They needed a new computer. So I got a new computer, installed everything, transferred all their like QuickBooks and stuff. Like those are accounting computers. So I transferred everything over. It went great. Charged them. I mean, it wasn't a lot because I've kind of noticed is that when you're trying to get a new client, like you don't like give them a fake rate, but like maybe you just charge an hour less or something like that.
Yeah.
Because I mean, it shows honesty. I feel like when you give them an honest rate and like show them that you're not gonna charge them $500 for 3 hours worth of work, because it's unreasonable. Because a lot of people like businesses, they see business, they see a lot more money than a consumer, so they charge double or something like that. I don't do that, so there's no point in me trying to get an extra buck out of them.
That's really. Do you have any other big business clients?
Not big. I mean, like the Stanton County Sheriff's Office. I did a lot of work there.
That's really cool.
Yeah, because my dad's got a connection. I mean, he's the emergency manager in Stanton County, so he was there.
Hey, connections are important.
Right. Oh, yeah. So, yeah, my parents seem to know everyone, so it kind of helps.
Yeah, and your mom's your biggest supporter.
Oh, yeah.
I see that all the time.
Yep.
That's good. As a young entrepreneur, what's been the biggest challenges you faced in the tech industry, and how did you overcome it?
Capital. Like you have no capital. I mean, you do, but like I worked construction in the summer, but a summer, so you don't have a lot of capital to start with, and so when you're in the tech industry, there's a lot of risk, lots of risk. Like if that laptop right there, if you need a new hard drive, but I snapped something, like I snapped your board, there's no replacing that. Like that's just broken, and that is like $600 or however much it is that I have to come up with my own pocket that I might not even have. Mm-hmm. So it's just a major risk, and that's a big part of it is just risk, because I've taken a lot of like fixes and repairs that I didn't know how to do when I first took them. That's what I learned.
That's how you. Well, yeah, right. That's how you.
Yeah.
That's how you got to get started. You
exactly.
Yeah, you got to do the stuff that nobody else wants to do.
Right.
Exactly. That's why they were there for you to do them.
Yeah, right.
Just somebody else said, "I've already done that." Yeah. That's the new guy's job.
Yeah.
Is there a thing in the tech industry where you could have people sign waivers? So we talked to, I know it's maybe not as much, but like when we talked to Nick last week or 2 weeks ago, when he has people sign waivers if he breaks a window, or what do you say?
It's for if repairing cracks.
Oh, repairing basically. A crack in a window. If he cracks it out, he's not responsible to replace the window. So I just didn't know if that was something that could be done, or is that not normal?
I don't know, actually. I don't know if people do that. Like, I don't know if careers or NCSI do that. I don't, because I feel like that doesn't very convey trust. I'm not trying to diss on what you're doing, because for Windows, I mean, that's a lot more than a computer.
Yeah.
Well, it was only on cracks, because cracks already cracks. Not a guaranteed fix.
Oh, gotcha.
I just didn't know.
Not cracks, chips. Rock chips.
Oh,
like
yeah.
chip
so like if he's trying to fix a chip and it cracks while he's doing it.
Well, that's almost a given sometimes.
Yeah. Right. I just didn't know if there was. I was just trying to think of like a comparison there, because like laptops are tough. Like you said, if you break a piece, they're not easily attainable like they are for like a
you can
desktop.
so many parts on a laptop. Yeah, no, I don't offer like any like waivers or stuff like that. You know, I don't say like, hey, I'm not responsible for this, this, and this. I don't do that because I feel like my rates are low enough. But it doesn't. It conveys the fact that I might not know what I'm doing, and it conveys the fact that hey, this is a chance that I'm going to break it. I don't want that to even cross your mind.
Right.
You know, I want you to trust me. I want you to just give me the laptop, and you're not going to sweat it anymore.
Right.
I mean, that's the goal.
Right.
Is let me handle your tech needs.
I like that. What's one piece of technology or programming skill you're most proud of mastering, and how has it impacted your work?
I've got to say, I'm not like this might not be like applicable because it's not a service yet, but I am getting pretty good at like web development and just like.
Well, I mean, your website looks pretty good.
Yeah, but like not even just the front end, like what you can see. I'm starting to learn so much what goes into the back end of that, like the server, the virtualization, and stuff like that, and like Docker, containerizing. So I'm getting nerdy, but stuff like
I know
that.
a few of those terms.
Yeah. I'm really trying to learn that stuff and master that, and I feel like I'm getting there. I don't know. I'm not trying to be cocky, but I feel like I'm almost there. So it's going to be very useful soon.
Do you have any idea what you're going to charge for that?
Well, okay, so I'll just list out the idea in a very vague form because I don't have a patent for it yet. I'm going to automate web development. So there's a lot of people out there that like ideal HTML. They charge, I think it's $1,200 or $1,500 for just a basic website. And that's not very obtainable. I mean, it's an investment, of course, but it's not very obtainable for a startup. But how important an online presence really is nowadays, you need a website. You have to have somewhere for your customers to land. And so that's a problem that I'm trying to solve right now is how can I give an affordable solution to these people? Because there's, you have your other solutions like Google Sites. That's what I made my first website on. I mean, it worked, but it was very limited. I wanted accounts. I wanted online orders. And if I wanted to go to a web development firm, that would have been thousands that I don't have. I'm not going to spend that. I just would have thrown it out the window. I'm just not going to do it. But it really leveled up my business. Now that I do have it, I'm really noticing a lot of revenue from it. So I'm trying to automate it because the big part of that cost is the time that it takes. And we have AI. I mean, AI is insane. I don't know if you guys use ChatGPT.
I use that.
I use it quite a bit.
Yeah.
We use AI actually for our video editing and uploading.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's cool. But yeah, like you've seen how powerful these things are. So what I'm trying to do is implement AI and just basic like server processing knowledge to give people a solution that can automate the system, and maybe not fully automate it. Like I might still have to manually review it, because sometimes AI will spit out a website that looks identical, and I don't want that. And AI can't do everything either. Like there's still stuff I have to do. So it's not going to be like a $15 website, but I don't know. I need to figure it out yet.
You don't have to give a price. I just thought if you had like a ballpark.
I do. I have a ballpark, and I was thinking like 600.
That's not bad.
Because
is that a one-time thing?
One time.
But
I am working on add-ons too. Like analytics. People want to see analytics. They want to see what they're doing on their website.
Mm-hmm.
That's huge for marketing. Email system. Just have a email system that
embedded in the website.
And then like all the accounts that are signed up, just like the data pulls, and then e-commerce management. So for my website, I have a whole back end that I can view everything. I can manage everything. Like you can do online orders on there. So I have to manage all of that, and I have to analyze it and like update statuses and update information. So like if I can give 3 of those add-ons and plus hosting and DNS too, which is like $25 a year. But hosting too, that's there's monthly costs that go into it, and that's for every website though. But there's a lot of revenue opportunities with web development that are not being touched right now.
Was that self-taught, or did you take a class on that?
Self-taught for the most part. I had a high school class on it.
That's really cool though. I always love self-taught stuff.
It was the first year they started doing web development, and so it was like, it was Brandel. I don't know if you guys know who that is, but it was very good.
I saw him the other day. He was right next to. I went and spoke
Oh
at
yeah,
the high school,
yeah.
and I think his class was
that.
right next to.
Oh yeah, did you go to Kruger? Oh no, he retired.
He retired.
Yeah.
The person who took over, that would have been Kruger's classroom
Yeah.
though. Was the one I went to,
Cool.
and then Brandel was right next door.
Yeah, so Brandel, I was in that classroom learning web development, and it was like very basic, just front end HTML and CSS, which was still very good for foundational knowledge.
Yeah.
But you know, I always wanted a website for a business like this because, like I said, I always had that small web business that builds
you wanted
computers
to
for
do.
people.
Yep.
So I always had that idea when I was like learning this stuff, and so I took.
So you
it
had
to
a
the
purpose
next
to
level.
learn it.
Yeah.
So
right.
you paid attention, whereas maybe
Oh,
people
man.
just maybe
Yeah, well,
try to breeze through it.
What I tried to do, I brought a flash drive to school to take the files that we were working on and to use it. So I was going to use it on my own website. Turns out that was useless, but
We got a little Tom Cruise over here, a little Mission Impossible.
yeah.
Well,
Allow them in a government
Edward
building.
Snowden.
I was going to say, you're not, you actually can't put in flash drives on those computers, but you can go into like the BIOS and change that. So.
I think sometimes they forget that a lot of the students kind of know some of this stuff when they're doing it. It's
Right.
kind of.
Oh man, I was able to mess with the school stuff quite a bit. I'm not going to talk about that, but that was funny.
Hey, you're
You
graduating.
gotta wait
Yeah,
until the statute of limitations.
Yeah.
How do you stay motivated and keep learning in such a fast evolving field?
I mean, I love technology. I love my job. I love the.
You don't ever get tired of it?
No, man, it doesn't even feel like work. It's awesome.
I have tried so hard to like get really like better at video editing and some of this stuff, and I just it's so complex that
and I get there sometimes with software development, and you know there might be an issue where I'm trying to solve like on a computer or a server that's taking me hours and I can't figure it out. So it gets ticked off a little bit, but there's just so much you can do with technology. It's just I love it. This is my passion. I'm up pretty late coding and I'm up pretty late working on stuff, but it doesn't feel like it's draining at all.
Doesn't feel like work.
No, not even close. I love it. I love going to places like businesses or, I do work for a church now too. I just love going over there, working on their network and, fixing a computer, an issue or installing something. Just love it. Absolutely.
I can tell. I can tell.
I don't know. I'm very passionate about it.
That's good. What's the most exciting project? Is it, you probably already answered this, but what's the most exciting project you're working on right now?
Yeah, it's that. It's automated web development.
I figured.
I worked on that accounting software. That was pretty cool to work on. Just like seeing that all come together, that was pretty cool. But right now, the thing that has my mind just totally captivated is automated web development because it's not just a system I'm building. I have to build, templates. I have to build a content management system. I have to do all of the back end work that comes in a website.
So you don't have the patent on it yet. Is that something you can't? Do you have patents already?
No.
So that would be your first one.
I'm working with the Nebraska Business Development Center to help me out.
They're at Wayne State?
Yep. They got an office at Wayne.
Did
We had that guy on.
Lauren Kuchera?
Lauren.
No, I'm with Ben Benton.
Oh.
He's must be the other guy.
Yeah, Lauren was on our show.
Really?
Yeah,
That's
he's
cool.
a great guy. Great guy. That's cool that you're doing that though.
Yeah.
And they're helping you out with that?
Yeah,
They
help
think
me
it's
out in
possible?
so many different ways. Oh yeah, and I work with my advisor too at Wayne. Man, that guy has so much education. He's got a PhD in management information system. It's just like a master's in accounting. Like it's just so random. But he was telling me that that's very possible to get a patent for it. So it's definitely worth like trying at least to pursue it because you could really, you could take over the system pretty quick if you just tried to understand it. Like,
right. How do you balance being a young person, maybe you're still in school right now, with running a business?
That's hard. That's very hard because, you always want to put school first. But when you're so passionate about something, that's extremely hard to do. And that was hard to do with, gaming even too. That was very hard. Was trying to maintain A's while still gaming 8 hours a day.
Yeah.
But like right now with business and stuff, I got pretty lucky with my college schedule. Like I go Tuesday and Thursday and that's it. But I try to get all my homework done on Monday. And so that way the rest of the week do my business.
Do whatever you need to do.
Right. Yeah.
That's good.
So that's the main thing, is just trying to prioritize just the start of the week, get it done. And there's gonna be stuff. There's gonna be other stuff too that I have to do. Like I said, I go to class still, but that's very short in college. I'm loving college compared to high school. But
that's a big difference.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna have you move that mic down just chip it just a little bit, just the actual mic itself, and then speak right into it. There you go.
There we go.
Oh
Jeez.
man!
Wow, I was quiet, wasn't I?
Just a little bit. Just a little bit. You're good.
My bad.
You're good. Who or what has been your biggest inspiration in the tech or entrepreneurial world?
Well, this might be controversial now, but I was gonna say Elon Musk.
It's not controversial.
Okay, I was gonna say, yeah. He's a brilliant guy. There's no denying that. And he actually built, co-founded PayPal.
Yep.
When he was 24, 25 or something like that. I was just looking at this yesterday. He coded at least the foundation of PayPal.
Yeah, it was a different name before that. It was
I just looked at it and I already forgot. It was like Zip It or something like that.
Yeah.
It was something.
It was what PayPal
even
turned into. But
yeah, right.
He was the founder of that.
Yep. But yeah, definitely Elon Musk, because there's just so much thinking that goes into that guy's brain, and that's the guy I'm trying to be is just innovative. That's the big thing. Is he's very innovative, and that's what I'm trying to do with this automated web development. I want to be innovative, and I want to be, I want to offer solutions to people that need them, and at an affordable rate rather than just trying to rip people off.
Makes sense. Like that.
That's a little Elon-y too.
It is.
On the government level.
Right. What advice would you give to other young computer enthusiasts who dream of starting their own tech company?
You just got to start learning. That's the big thing, is just learning and having that foundational knowledge. And you're not going to learn it in college. Don't wait for college to teach you it, because I'm taking the advanced web development class right now, and we are going over the bare minimum, JavaScript. I don't know if you ever heard of that, but we're going over the bare minimum JavaScript, and there's so much more to web development than that, and they don't teach it. So you have to learn yourself, and so don't wait for an education to get started on your educational journey that you should be doing yourself. I keep saying it, knowledge is power.
YouTube's a very useful tool.
Yeah,
I've
been using ChatGPT.
Well, that too.
ChatGPT teaches me everything, honestly, and it's people say it's not going to be accurate. Yes, it is. It pulls from accurate sources,
right?
So it doesn't really have.
All you
got to
do is tweak it. If it doesn't give you the right answer, just feed more information into it.
Yeah.
I used it, literally was using it today on a machine, trying to get a machine to do the right thing. Actually, Ryan was doing we were both doing kind of the same thing, trying to figure some stuff out.
Yeah.
Stuff that we've gave us answers that we couldn't go find even in the manual of the machine.
Because it goes and finds it.
It goes and finds it for you.
Yeah,
so it's kind of crazy.
I've done it for a lot of different things. And then if I don't like the way it's putting information out, I just go use another AI tool.
Yep.
Right. There's so many out there.
You were just talking about Grok on X.
On X.
I've done Grok a couple times.
It's so good. I almost like it better than ChatGPT.
It's very fast.
Yeah.
Extremely fast. I don't use it, but I don't know. I've never gotten off of ChatGPT because I pay for it. So, yeah. I do that $20 a month for the Pro or whatever it's called.
So you're getting good stuff out of it then.
Yeah, I guess so.
When I've used it, I haven't paid
I'm
for
on the
it.
free one.
Yeah. Well, there's no reason to unless you're spamming
until you start
messages.
getting to that point.
Yeah.
How do you see your business evolving in the next 5 years, especially with emerging? This will be right up to what you're saying with emerging tech and AI.
Yeah. So I have a lot of ideas and a lot of plans for, building my own IT infrastructure and building my own just information systems that will help my own company rather than just building it for other people or setting that for other people. I think it's very important that if you're going to do it for other people, you better have a pretty solid one yourself.
So you can start building server farms?
Yeah. But I just completely lost my train of thought.
Sorry.
Oh, you're good.
I've done that twice now.
No, you're good. Wow.
You have a lot of ideas.
Yes. Okay. I have a lot of ideas going on, and So like, automated web development is the big thing, but like project management. So like web development is going to have a lot of projects, and project management, that's something that you'll learn in school, but like not at the highest level that you probably need. So learning that, but then making a software to manage it all that also like can talk to an accounting software that you built, and then talk to your own website and talk to your own systems. And if I can unify all of these things, how powerful and automated could I really be?
Right.
Because, the biggest capital that I could see having that I'll probably need is employees. But if I can really limit that, I mean, that sounds bad, but like it's just it's expenses that I'd have to do, and I don't have money for. I don't want to spend the money on. So if I can automate it with technology and I have the know-how or to do it, why would I not?
Outside of a brick and mortar building, employees will be your most expensive thing ever.
100%.
They come with a lot of things.
Yeah, a lot of free stuff. No, I'm just kidding.
Have you had any actual mentors or communities that have helped you along the way, and how important is that support for young entrepreneurs?
Yeah, like 3 weeks ago, have you guys saw the Intersect Co-working Center on Norfolk Avenue?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That place is awesome. So every Wednesday at 9 a.m., they have a bunch of entrepreneurs come in. I mean, it's a group of like 10, 15 people that are just so unbelievably nice and just like open to anyone.
Is that the 1 million cups thing or whatever?
Yep. I was going to say that 1 million cups. So that's an amazing place. Absolutely amazing. So they have like a presentation of just somebody's new business idea that they got coming up, and then people will help them. I mean, people will give advice to them. And then, after that, it's just, you're just talking to people. And it's not even like people are just, they're really just there to get their own gain. They're just there to get things out of people. No, they're genuinely there to help you. I go every Tuesday and Thursday night, besides tonight, but they have like an entrepreneurial boot camp that they put on, and they teach you everything that you need to know about starting a business. So like what you were saying is, one of the first questions that you asked me was, what problem are you trying to solve? And that's what they really go deep into, is like, you're going to try and solve a problem, but is the solution really going to be it? And they help you. So like 99% of these people that have these ideas and solutions fail. And so they try and like help you through that process so you don't fail. And so that, if you do, or maybe like before you bring it to market, if you get some feedback and see that that's probably isn't it, they can help you pivot so you can keep going. You don't have to just give up on it. So that's the biggest thing that I'm going to right now, is that 1 million cups and just anything there. I try not to miss one. That's awesome.
It's really cool. I've heard about it. I haven't gone.
Yeah, no, I love it. Absolutely amazing. It's not just entrepreneurs there too. It's just people that, like have a business oriented. I don't know how to explain it. It's very
just a business oriented community.
Yeah.
Like minded people trying to help each other.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. There's so many ideas that started one way, and like, or businesses or anything, and they completely went a different direction and skyrocket. Like there's so many, and there's a lot, like you said, that have started one way and they were bullheaded and stuck that way and didn't change their ways and failed for that reason. So yeah.
So like even with this, so I'm really talking to them about this web development stuff because I want to get into it, and they're helping me out so much. I mean, I didn't even know what half the stuff they were talking about was, because I've never done like marketing or anything like that. I suck at marketing. And then also the Nebraska Business Development Center.
Yep.
Benjamin Benton, the people that you didn't get to meet, but that guy's awesome. He helps me out a lot. He's got so many connections around the area, and he just like, I was asking, what's it going to take for me to get into a building? Because I think that'd be very important, not only just because I want to host websites on a server with like reliable internet and power, not my parents' basement. So I was just asking about that, and he just started naming off like 5 places and their rent prices, and like, how do you know that? It's just crazy. So he's very helpful too, and then my advisor as well, like that that guy I was talking about with a whole bunch of degrees for no reason.
That's good.
Yeah, he's very helpful and very knowledgeable. He was the person at Nebraska Business Development Center for a bit.
Really?
Yeah. So he's a very valuable resource too and mentor. And then even my own parents. I mean, people don't even like think about that. It's like even my own parents, the amount of ideas I bounce off them. I still live with them.
Right.
I mean, I commute. I don't have any shame in it because I'm saving a lot of freaking money.
Well, exactly. I don't blame you.
Just riding that, you'd call it riding the gravy train on biscuit wheels.
Right. Yeah. Well,
Stay there for a while.
Yeah. I'm getting mom's meals too.
Exactly. Stay there as long as you need to. That's
Exactly.
I'm sure they'll let you.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean,
I forget you're not an only child, right? You have a sister.
I have a sister.
Right. Older
she
though,
moved
right?
out. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. She's 21.
So yeah, so they want you home, so they can still have a kid there.
Right.
Yeah, they're not ready to empty nest yet.
Exactly.
That's good. What's a common misconception about being a young tech entrepreneur that you'd like to clear up?
People think that we are stupid, and you know, I mean, it's just plain simple. It's like they don't see like hours of research and just like motivation and like work ethic that goes behind the things that I'm talking about or the things that I'm doing. They just see me as young, inexperienced, uneducated, and I'm not gonna go to you, or I'm not even gonna ask you. There's no point because you don't know what you're doing. And you know, I'd like to say that's false. I don't believe so. I do think I know what I'm doing.
I think you proved that a little bit, right?
I hope so.
Also, I think sometimes older generations, even people our age, forget that you literally grew up with technology in your hand.
Mm-hmm.
You've had it your whole life.
Yeah.
You know?
Right.
So
well, I was talking to my mom one day, and it's like, you know, she was talking about the first time that she handed me a smartphone, and apparently I just knew how to operate it. Like I didn't.
It's weird.
Yeah.
Our kids did the same thing.
Yeah. How does that work? It's crazy.
I don't know.
You have like grandmas that can't figure out how to make a call.
Evidently, they made a thing that anybody could.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I guess.
But
so.
you're right. Yeah. Older generation can't make a call, but
it's weird.
Yeah.
It's very weird. So, yeah,
it's almost like evolving, right? Because like we had technology, but not till like later on. Obviously, there was technology, but not computers. Like I didn't have a computer in my room till I don't know. I think I was 14 or 15, maybe.
Yeah,
I didn't have a computer in my room
ever, and
we had a computer in the office, in the home office when I was like 7th, 8th grade.
And I didn't have a smartphone till mid college.
See, I had one 5th grade.
Yeah. See,
and
so it's just the difference.
That's late now.
Yeah,
I mean, that's what's crazy to me is that like I had a flip phone when I was in like 2nd to 4th grade because I walked to school, but that was it. I mean,
I should have started my kids off or my son off with a flip phone and then transitioned so he could kind of see the different, because he had a smartphone when he was 7th grade because that was when, because we just lived right up from Bel Air, so we were within less than a block,
right?
So we didn't need one there because we would always be there. But once he was going to go to school, we were going to have to leave from. I just felt like I wanted him to have it in case I could make it or
100%.
whatever. But in the old school, people would say, "Well, you could have just called the school and told them."
But that's not very reliable anymore.
You're not wrong. That's the other problem there. But yeah, I think that's part of the disconnect is that they just forget that you grew up with technology. You had it in your hand
right
the whole time. How do you handle setbacks or failures, and what's a lesson you've learned from a tough moment?
As a newer business, I haven't had too many in terms of like huge setbacks.
You better knock on some wood.
I haven't had any big setbacks yet that like have really changed the way I do things. But I think that's also just goes to show that I'm doing what I should be doing in terms of thinking before I do. I mean, thinking about what are the possible outcomes and having good risk management when it comes to making business decisions and investing a bunch of time into this automated web development system. I feel like I'm doing a lot of steps to make sure that this is a good idea. This is going to work. I'm not just wasting a bunch of time and money on this. And I think that maybe I haven't had setbacks yet, but that's like my main thing that I've learned, I guess, from just going through these things and just like kind of maneuvering and seeing how business really works.
What about the projects you took on that you didn't know how to do?
I just figured it out. I can't really say it. I actually have. Yeah, I guess you could say this is. I worked on a console, and
Did you?
I couldn't figure it out. I
Yeah, I'm
hated
sure.
it. I hated it. And you needed so many different weird screwdrivers that I just didn't have, and I wasn't like. I went to Menards to try to find them. They didn't even have them, so it's like, I'm just not doing it. And they're very like. A lot of these things are not meant to be repaired.
Well,
Like,
right.
so-
They're not made that way.
Right. So I just,
They don't want them repaired because you can sell another one.
Right. So you just buy a new one.
Just
Yeah.
like laptops.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, yeah. Laptops are not meant to be repaired. If your motherboard breaks, I mean, for some laptops, even if your memory goes out, you have to resolder it. No, I'm not soldering. Just go buy a new one. That thing's $100 anyway. So.
Right. Exactly. If you could go back and tell your younger self one thing before starting this journey, what would it be? I know you're fresh into it, but
don't like limit myself to just a certain way of doing things. I was always trying to learn new things, especially when I was just starting out, and even learning how to fix a computer. That was, but I always limited myself to, I probably shouldn't work on a server though, because I'm not gonna know how to do it. Or I shouldn't work on the printer, or I shouldn't take this job, I shouldn't do this. Just do it. I think that there's risk involved. You might not know how to fix it. I might not know I might break it, but I think, to an extent anyway, it's definitely worth to try. And if I didn't limit myself with a lot of these things, I think, maybe I'd be a few more steps ahead. But, I think, it's something that you learn. So
nice. Is there anything else you wanted to talk about your business?
Man, I could ramble about web development for hours, but it's
That's up
fun.
to you.
I love it. I absolutely love coding. Actually, I can't say that. I sit at my desk and work on that stuff, like just sitting there coding. That gets pretty boring. I can't sit and I love going out and doing stuff and to go fix something.
Yeah.
Or like building a computer and stuff and do with my hands. But yeah, just sitting there gets pretty boring. But I'm at the stage right now where I'm still planning everything out. I'm working on it, but I'm working on the stuff that doesn't really need planned. But I'm planning everything out, and it's so exciting. I'm loving it. That's just seeing what technology can do is absolutely insane.
I can tell you're super passionate.
Oh yeah, I think I said I'm loving it like 50 times. So there's a thing called containers. So in a server, I want to host websites on my own server. A lot of people, like even the firm that's in Norfolk, they use a cloud service.
Outsource it.
Yeah, they outsource
like
it.
AWS or what?
Yep, or Cloudflare is a big one, or Linode is another one. That's the one I use for my own website. But that costs that cuts into 60% of profit for hosting. And that's a lot. If you have a lot of clients, that's a lot of money. That's a big check you're putting out to whatever service you're using. So I wanted to make my own server. I wanted to have my own. I wanted to do everything on site. So if I can do that, then I get the full profit. So that's a big thing that I'm trying to kind of research and do right now is learning how to get as many and optimize it like crazy to have as many websites on one server as possible.
Is the limitation on that the security side of it?
The limitation on it is not so much the security, but the hardware resources that you need. It's pretty crazy. So the server that I'm trying to build, it's going to cost about $5,000 just for the server, not the networking equipment.
I was thinking more, so that's not too bad.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I was kind of.
I was thinking
impressed
like 10 or 15.
Yeah, I was kind of impressed too. It was not that much, but it's got I think a 64 or 48 core processor.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's insane. And then 128 gigs of RAM, which actually isn't that much. But it can go up to 2 terabytes. Like the motherboard itself is $500. The case, for some reason, is $300 or $400. But then it all runs off an 850 watt power supply, which is also weird.
Right.
But yeah, so what I was running into with the hardware limitations was, so I was going to use virtual machines. Virtual machines are basically you have a large pool of hardware components, and you split them up into mini computers. So you split your hard drive up to put in, let's say you want to do 5 virtual machines. You make 5 different like partitions in your hard drive and put 5 different operating systems on them, so they all function as 5 different computers. So this server that I was going to have was going to be able to do 60. Now, 60 is not that much for $5,000 plus, I think it's like $2,000 for the networking equipment. That's not a lot. When you do the math, if I charge $25 for hosting and 60 servers, not even going to try, but I think that's only like 2,000, 3,000, I hope. But it's not a lot. I mean, yeah, sure it is, but I was very like surprised by that, and it's like, wow, maybe this isn't worth it to try. But then I learned about this thing called containers, and containers, like, they all run on one operating system, so you don't split everything. But I mean, it's weird. You do, because you containerize everything.
Yeah.
But it all runs on one system. But you put in like different modules and softwares that you need for a web server. You put in different things on each container, and it's so weird. But I can host like 500 to 800.
Really doing it that way?
It went from 60 to 500 to 800.
Is it using less resources that way too?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Because, well, what virtual machines do was it was going to make it so, like, usually a web server is about 2 gigabytes of RAM. It was going to split it 2 gigabytes of RAM, no more, no less, and that was it. With a container, it uses however much it needs. So, like, if a website's not even being looked at, it doesn't need anything. And if it's just one user, maybe like 200 megs. So you don't need.
So it just takes what?
Yeah, right. And then so you can have so many. It's just crazy to me. So that went from maximum of like $2,500 to $3,000 profit to however much 500 times 25 is.
Is there a bottleneck if there's a lot of traffic on all of them?
Yeah. So the big bottleneck would be networking. That's quite the hefty business line to have, because what I planned on was, when I first got into a place, I was just gonna get a gig, and that'd been like $100 a month or something like that. And then maybe, if I got a little bigger, maybe 2.5, maybe 5, maybe 10. 10 is upward to like $1,000 a month.
Yeah.
But for a server where like every request goes on one Ethernet cable, that's pretty necessary. So network limitations is like the big one, because that's a lot of collisions that really slow everybody down.
Right.
In terms of resources, like memory, that can be the biggest one. But luckily, memory is like the most scalable part in this thing. But maybe storage, but
because you can pretty much hot swap memory out.
No, you can't hot swap it. I don't think anyway.
But I'm stupid, so I
don't know. Maybe you can. I have no
idea.
But you can with drives, like hard drives. You can hot swap them, but you'll have to turn it off for 10 seconds to put in a new stick or something. But still, that's not replacing everything. That's just putting in another stick, which is great. So limitations definitely are, like, when you get to 500 people, I mean, that's really more networking rather than.
It would take a while to get to that too, right?
Man. Yeah, I feel like my infrastructure would be a lot more advanced with 500 clients rather than just one $5,000 server on one line. I don't think I'll be there. But yeah, it's just something I wanted to rant about, because it's what I've been learning right now, and it's fun. I'm loving it. But
it's good to talk about things that you're freshly studying and stuff like that.
Yeah,
I get it. It's good. Is there anything that you do in your business that we haven't talked about?
Gaming. I do. So with my experience in gaming, I have services for gamers, and that's something that nobody does around here. I don't think, at least in my 1.5 years of market research, I haven't seen anybody doing stuff for gamers. There's people that'll fix like your game crashing, but they don't advertise that. You just take it to a computer repair and assume that they do it. So I advertise stuff like that, and I build gaming computers for people. I've built a lot now, and nobody advertises that. I don't know. I didn't know where to go when I wanted to build my own computer, or when I had all the parts picked out or whatever. I didn't know where to go to have someone build it because I didn't trust myself. I just spent $1,000, $2,000 on that stuff. I wasn't gonna build it. So there was nobody to go to. Luckily, one of my friend's dads knew how to do it, but so that really opened the door to there's likely a market for this. So I started doing that, and yeah, there sure was. And then another package is optimization. So people get computers, but they after like 2 years, they have a lot of processes that run in the background that a lot of people don't know about that. If you install software, it runs in the background most likely. Turn it off. Yep. It's just slowing your stuff down. Turn it off.
Yep.
But so I do optimizations so people see an increase in frames because I learned a lot about optimization when I was doing my own gaming stuff. Just trying to get the most frames in the.
So you know what all the settings mean.
Yeah, right. Most frames, least input delay. It was very important, and so I kind of. Yeah, I know what all the settings mean now. Yeah. I kind of found the best configuration for all of that, and overclocking and stuff like that too. That's another big one that I do. And then of course fixing game crashes. I mean that's a pretty big one that I get, or a hard drive failure or something like that. Or, but yeah, it's just that's a whole nother market that really nobody's even tried to discover here anyway.
Yeah,
is just having services for gamers.
I know Nick's dabbled in it a little bit, but he doesn't really advertise his computer business.
I was gonna say, I haven't seen it.
Yeah,
I haven't seen it. I've done a year and a half worth of just research, trying to see if anybody's done these things.
Yeah,
trying to see what people are doing around here.
Yeah,
and nothing.
Because Nick's got his Midwest IT, but he's so busy at work that he doesn't really advertise.
I never even do it.
Yeah, so. Yeah. That's good. Anything else about your business that you want to get out there?
I don't think so. No, I don't think so. I'm not really here to just advertise and push my business out.
Literally what this podcast is for.
Okay. Frohbergcomputers.com. Go sign up, make an account, look at the refurbished computers for sale.
We'll do that again at the end too, so don't worry. You get to do your whole full plug.
All right, sweet.
Yeah.
I'll just wait.
Okay.
I'll wait for it.
We got a couple more segments to kind of do here. Everybody that we bring on, we ask just a couple political questions. So I hope you're okay with getting just a little bit political.
Let's do it.
Now that the election's over, what are you most looking forward to going into the next 4 years?
Economic development, for sure. As a business owner and just as somebody who's going to buy a house soon, or hopefully anyway, or at least rent. I'm going to get my own place soon. And,
we just said stay at home as long as you can.
Yeah, I know. Right. But now I'm hoping that there is much better opportunities to go and actually get it. I want it to be more obtainable. Because I can't lie, I mean, 2 years ago, I was getting pretty scared. I mean, I saw rent prices go to $1,500 a month for some crap hole. So I was not about to pay that. And I don't know if it went the other way this election. I don't know what it would be right now. I don't think it would be very good. Just because, I mean, that's just not their agenda. I mean, I feel like Republican side is more economic development.
It's going to hurt for a little bit here.
Yeah.
But I think we're going in the right direction.
Yeah. In my own business, I've noticed a lot of impact with tariffs just because, availability of chips and silicone is very low. So, and just, of course, the imports and stuff like that. My prices have gone way up for gaming computers because they have to. The cost to
we knew it was going to.
Yeah, right. Yeah, you just have the idea.
But I don't think it's gone up as much as some things did in 2020.
Right. No, it hasn't doubled.
Yeah.
Or anything.
Because in 2020, you couldn't get a graphics card.
No.
Without going on the black market.
I was going to say, you can't right now, but that's mainly because the 50 series just came out. So you can't really blame that on politics.
Right, no.
But
that's just normal.
Everybody freaks out and buys everything on the market when it's just a new graphics.
Well, people got those auto buyers.
Yeah.
They just go buy everything in stock, and then they hold on to it until something like this happens, and then sell them for double or triple or whatever.
That's annoying.
That's a good answer, though. I like that. Do you think that the administration coming in will actually be able to accomplish all they've set out to do?
I think they definitely were pretty ambitious. I mean, and what they've done so far, I think so. I mean, it's been 100 days, wasn't it? Like yesterday, 100 days.
Within the last few days, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know the exact date.
But I mean, just look how much they've done already. So I feel like, I mean, they're very rapid with their changes, and they obviously knew what they wanted to do. I mean, it was very clear, and I feel like they had a nice game plan going into it too. It was like, it's very methodical what they're doing, and I honestly think so. Maybe not all of it. I think there's gonna be some things that they might learn. Cause I mean, I don't know the entire agenda, but I think they're just naturally, there's just gonna be stuff that they learn, and it's like, oh, maybe this isn't a great idea, or maybe we should do this instead. But I think they are very ambitious and like are actually gonna do it too. Like they say something, it's gonna happen.
Yeah, I think that's what a lot of the pushback has been is, well, he's doing what he said he was going to do. Well, that's what he got voted in for.
Right.
You know, if he's doing, he's
that's the whole point.
fulfilling his promises. Like most presidential candidates don't do. They'll make all these promises.
When
and
have
not
we
doing
ever
it.
had this? What are we doing?
And now it's, he's actually doing what he said he was going to do.
Yeah.
You're a politician. You're supposed to wax poetic and not do anything.
Okay, now we're going to play a little Would You Rather.
All right.
This, for everybody out there, it's going to be a little different than normal. I used a little AI to gear these towards your industry.
Okay.
So usually we just do some random, like, would you rather fart glitter or sneeze glitter and burp like a pig or I don't know. Usually it's something like that. But these are going to be more geared towards your industry. So would you rather go back to the early days of dial-up internet and basic graphics, but relive the rise of gaming culture, or stay in today's high-speed VR-driven tech world with no chances to experience the nostalgia?
Well, this is a little bit tougher because I was not there for the nostalgia of dial-up internet.
That's kind of what the question's about. Would you like to go back? Would you rather go back and experience it?
That'd be cool. I think the gaming world, it wasn't so much like, I'm going to be a pro and make money from this and make it a career, but like going to arcades, man, that was so fun when I was like 8, but those are gone now. I mean, you have like Dave & Buster's and stuff like that. I'm talking like at the mall, you put in a quarter arcade. How fun would that have been? I don't know. I don't know because I wasn't even alive.
It was a blast.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I would love it. Definitely that option for sure.
The place where I forget what's there right now, in the mall, right next to the food court. What's the little embroidery?
That's Renegades.
So where Renegades embroidery station is right now.
There was one. Wasn't
there was an arcade in there.
Mm-hmm.
Big one.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
I remember going to, I mean, I was little. I went to it, right? I was alive, correct?
Yes.
Like,
you would have been alive,
okay, I was going to say, maybe this is a different mall, but I swear, I remember going
And you were probably pretty
cool.
young because it's been a while. It's been
It's been a while.
Probably been 10 to 15 years. 10 years. It's been over 10 to 12.
Dial-up wasn't fun.
Yeah, no.
I still think I'd go back and go through that whole.
I'd go back.
Mine is the beyond just the gaming. The dial-up is something that to live through that new age of. I still the morning of Christmas when our parents got internet. I remember it. I had Yahoo pulled up on the laptop or on the desktop. It was a laptop. Pretty sure it was a laptop at that time from my mom and dad's business. But we had dial-up internet, and it was Yahoo. And it had the Yahoo was kind of like Google does now.
Yeah.
They have themes or whatever. It was Yahoo with like Christmas lights and stuff. That basic Yahoo website. I would go through the nostalgia of that again for sure. And just the way internet is. Yeah. Now it's here. Yeah. It's right here.
The transition
10 times faster.
The transition from dial-up to high speed was wild too.
I believe it. I was gonna say I get pissed off when something doesn't load in 15 seconds.
I just remember because the dial-up stuff, I'd be on MSN Messenger or something after school. Mom would get home. Get off the computer! I need to use the phone.
Yeah, I remember that.
I don't wanna.
Or get kicked off.
I'm in the middle of a conversation.
Kicked off. I'm trying to remember. I'm pretty sure when it was first, if somebody called you, it'd kick you off.
It would.
So that would happen if somebody called the house
at first.
Kicked off. Wow. We got kicked off the internet.
Or then it was when they'd get home from something. We've been trying to call for over an hour. What were you doing? Yeah, it was wild.
That online like PS2 was the first time I ever played online games with Modern Warfare 2 or Modern Warfare. I don't remember which one. One of the Modern Warfares. That's the first time I ever played.
Now that
online.
we're talking about it, I think I'm definitely going with the nostalgia.
I
Yeah,
absolutely would
right.
go back to that.
I
Go back to the
wasn't even alive,
Nintendo,
and I wanted to go with it,
PlayStation
so,
1. Yeah, there's no way I wouldn't go back.
yeah.
That's great. That's a good question. I didn't look at these ahead of time, so I'm experiencing these at the same time as you guys are. Would you rather be stuck competing in a single esports game forever with no updates, or have to learn a brand new game every month to stay competitive?
That's what I did, basically. Every season was so different than the others. I don't
Slide
know.
over that way just a little bit. There you go.
Sorry.
You're good.
I don't know. Because a lot of times when they would release a new season, I hated it because I don't like having to change everything that I learned and have to do it again. I didn't like doing that. But at the same time, if it was the same thing for 1 year straight, it would have been so stale. I don't think I would want it that way. So I think I'd have to go with the updates.
We all know how I play. I don't.
He wants to. He still
I
plays
literally
NBA,
play NBA
Live
19.
2019.
Oh my gosh.
Like, yeah, we play.
So he's the complete opposite of us.
I'll go venture out every once in a while. Like I bought the new PGA golf game. Played that for like 3 weeks. Paid extra to play it early.
It doesn't
Go
get
ahead,
boring.
We got him to play 2 games of Marvel Rivals. And
Oh, yeah.
he has yet to come back.
I'm not game. I downloaded that to play with those guys. I played 2 games. I was like, this is not. Nope, I'm out. Sorry, guys. I will not join you guys anymore.
This is so random. But you're talking about old games. I tried to play Call of Duty Ghost because that was one of my favorite childhood games. Why is it still like $50?
Right?
Why are all these games still like $50 to $60?
That's wild.
They are 10 years old. They look like absolute crap to compared to what's the same price now.
Right.
Yeah.
Why are they still so high? I don't get it.
I don't know. It's the gaming industry is just a money grab right now.
Yeah.
Between the battle passes and the
Oh my gosh.
all the
yeah.
coins and all the it's a
Yeah.
whole nother. We've done like 3 podcasts on it.
Really?
Yeah. Would you rather build a tech startup that revolutionizes AI but never get to game again, which I guess, I mean, we don't know where you're going to go here, or remain a pro gamer forever but never get to innovate tech?
I would say a year ago, I would have went with the other option, but this time I'm going to have to go with being a tech innovator.
I think that's good.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Maybe 2 years ago. But
I think I'm going to go with revolutionizes it too and not
Yeah.
game again. That's a tough one though, because I just enjoy gaming so much. But
right, yeah.
I don't know.
I still enjoy gaming too. It's not like I don't even play anymore. Except I just play, dude, I play Roblox and I'm not ashamed of it.
I
at
play
all.
Minecraft, so I mean,
yeah, it's so fun.
it's just relaxing.
Exactly. And it just like you get some free time and it's just like you were saying earlier, it's just your mind's clear for that
Mhm.
hour or 2 that you're playing or however long it is. It's awesome.
Pro Fortnite player goes to Roblox.
Yeah. Yep. Absolutely dominates.
That'll be
any
the-
shooter
that'll be the
game on
caption.
Roblox. Yeah.
Would you rather have an unlimited budget to create your dream game, but it flops with players, or create a low budget indie game that becomes a global cult classic?
Jeez, that's tough. That's really tough. Because you're either choosing your like own fulfillment or you're choosing other people's fulfillment. Kind of what I'm basing that off of, and
To an
your
extent.
own fame and money too. Assuming it's not free, but I don't know. I
Right
feel
now,
like-
this the indie games that are going wild.
oh man,
What's
yeah.
Schedule
What's
one.
an indie game?
Like a low budget game that doesn't really, it's either free or doesn't
Yeah,
cost very much
Like
in the game.
Marvels?
So that wasn't an indie game.
You ever heard of like
That was free, wasn't it? I
It
didn't
was
pay for
was
that.
free, but it was I would call that a big studio.
yeah, for sure.
Fortnite would be your first indie game then.
At
When it first
first.
came out.
At
Like,
first.
No,
'cause
they,
that
were,
was-
they were a big company before that too.
The
Epic
company
Games,
was?
yeah, or not Epic, yeah.
Yeah, so we're talking like maybe like a one or three three
Yeah.
people on the development team, not a big company that has it. Like, have you seen Schedule One?
I was just gonna say that.
Wasn't Fall Guys?
FNAF, Five Nights at Freddy's. That's
Oh,
an indie game.
that's an
I
indie
don't-
game.
Yeah.
What now? What did you say?
Five Nights at Freddy's.
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
I'm trying to. I'm trying to think. He doesn't game a whole lot.
I
I'm
don't.
trying-
Oh
I'm not a
my
gamer.
I'm trying to think
I
of
literally
it.
play NBA Live 19
Minecraft.
and PGA Tour.
Minecraft would have been an indie game
Yep.
at the time.
Yep.
Okay.
When it first came out,
Yeah.
it would have been an indie game.
Gotcha.
If that's
Yeah.
one you'll know.
Right.
And that was free for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Or no,
I
it was
know,
like
actually.
$20 or something. What was that other really big one that got like Lethal Company? You watched us play that. The one where we all
When did I
got.
watch you do that?
You watched me stream it a few times. It was one we were like going into those places and aliens would chase us.
Oh, yeah, that one was kind of cool to
So
watch.
that was a
fun.
indie game. Stuff like that.
Gotcha.
That like are super low budget, cheap, but go like get to the top of the charts in the like on Steam.
Gotcha.
Or whatever. I think I'd rather go that route.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm probably going to play the game I want to play.
Yeah.
Just for me.
Yeah. He's going to make 2K19.
No, I don't play 2K. I play NBA Live.
NBA Live.
Yeah.
Okay.
I hate
He
2K.
hates the coin thing on 2K
Gotcha.
side.
I would probably have to go with the indie game because I feel like, that's a selfless approach.
Yeah. I like that. Would you rather live in a world where esports is as mainstream as traditional sports but requires intense physical training, or keep esports niche but purely skill based?
Physical training?
I don't know why. It's kind of a weird question because it does take a lot of training, as you said.
I didn't work out my wrist for gaming though.
Yeah, I suppose.
I don't know.
Yeah, would you rather live in a world where esports is as mainstream as traditional sports but requires intense physical training, or keep esports niche but purely skill based?
I'd have to go with.
I think they're saying that you have to like get in the gym
Yeah.
like you would for traditional sport.
Yeah. I
It's
would
kinda
say that route. Like,
You think so?
that'd be cool. If like instead of maybe not instead, but like, you were watching the NFL or you're watching the
Esports Combine.
esports combine. Yeah, no, you're
Measure your fingers, your hand size.
Yeah.
How
Click
easy can you
speed.
hit those
Yeah.
buttons?
Right.
Click speed.
People
40
with
time.
auto clickers and
Yeah.
jeez.
Like Monday Night Football, like you're watching that, but then like, that got over. Let's go watch Fortnite or something. Let's go watch
Yeah.
FNCS.
Yeah,
That'd be cool.
good. I like that answer. Would you rather have a perfect lag-free internet connection for life but only play games you're terrible at,
Oh no.
or deal with constant lag but always dominate your favorite games? That's a good
Oh,
question. That's a good question.
man.
That one's difficult.
Wow. I would like to say I went the other route before, and I don't know if I liked it. I don't know. Oh man.
So lag-free internet for life but only play games you're terrible at.
No,
I don't
I'm not,
think-
because I literally don't. My internet has gotten better, and I don't really have the lag anymore. And I played a game I'm terrible at, and this sounds god awful. I played a lot of years when my lag was terrible, and I wasn't being able to shoot for a while because my internet was junk. Yeah, no, I'm going back to that one. But I dominated in other ways because I couldn't shoot threes. So
Yeah.
no, ain't doing the other one.
What do you think?
I'd have to go with being good at it, but I don't know. Actually, maybe not. I would say the other route, because if you went the other route and you had terrible lag but sucked at it, you wouldn't even notice. Like, if you sucked at the game, then what's the lag gonna do? You know what I mean? Because a lot of people that are like entitled and think that lag is like the only reason that they're losing or something like that. Like, that's because they're quote unquote good, right? But if it was the other way, like, I play like when I was playing COD, I'd lag, but I suck, so I didn't.
It didn't matter.
No, yeah.
Okay. There we go. Would you rather be a pro gamer in a game with a toxic community but massive prize pools, or a game with a small, wholesome community but barely any earnings?
What's that?
What's what?
I play one game with a really toxic community, and there is nothing.
Oh, there is zero wholesome communities in gaming.
No.
I was gonna say,
Maybe
there's
Minecraft,
no
but
such
So
thing.
Fortnite was awful. I mean, every time when I was playing these scrims I was talking about earlier, you could land on people, and every time I would, I'd get like 2 DMs from both the duo that I landed on. I'd get DMs from both of them, just like absolute death threats or something like that. Every time. It was just, you could count on it. Like, you could, that Discord notification right after you killed them, just like 30 seconds later, oh, there it is.
I always thought early COD lobbies were like the worst thing ever. Like, I'm talking back on Xbox days.
They were pretty
and
bad.
they were
Clips of
bad.
those.
But I still hear
They're way worse now.
They're worse. They're worse. And I thought they were bad back then.
Oh,
But at least
they were
we,
bad.
like back then we had fun with it.
Yeah.
Now it's just really like getting.
It's just personal.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's just
Yeah.
like at least we were having fun with it back then. Yeah, we might have said some things you don't want to ever bring those COD.
Yeah.
We don't want the game chats leaked.
Game chats
Yeah.
can't get leaked. But I think I don't know. But I don't know how to answer this one because
I've never been. Yeah, that just seems
but
like
I've never been paid for a game, so I can
That's
just
what I mean,
I
neither.
can just pick.
just to get paid.
Well, no, just I don't know. Maybe do you want a wholesome community? Because sometimes the competitiveness is fun too.
Yeah, I would say go with the big prize pool because you can make money off of that. It's pretty easy to keep to yourself.
Stay toxic.
We're
player.
already toxic, so
Stay
Yeah.
toxic, homie.
It's pretty easy to keep to yourself. And then, like I said, streaming. And it's like if you can build a wholesome community there, then you kind of get blessed of both worlds.
There you go. That works. Would you rather code a game-breaking bug that accidentally makes a game more fun, or discover an exploit that wins you a tournament but gets you banned?
Oh, definitely not. I'm not getting banned. Man, that was so scary. Trying to get banned, or not trying to get banned, but like just that
Not get banned?
thought. Yeah.
That's wild. I think a rather code a game-breaking bug that accidentally makes the game more
Yeah.
fun. That'd be fun.
For sure.
what I read that as like finding a cheat, coding a cheat.
Just writing code though, but it would be kind of a game exploit, yeah. So yeah, kind of.
A
But it
little
makes
bit.
the game more fun.
Sure, I'll go with that one.
Not an aimbot, like I don't know.
Well,
Trying to think of an
I was
example.
gonna say you don't game. I was gonna say like think about b hopping and CS:GO. Like it's fun being able to move a lot faster, but that definitely wasn't intended.
Right. Like a
But-
non-intended thing that and people find them all the time now. Like you can't a game launches and they're already like, well, this is the new tech to do
Yeah,
this, or
Right.
yeah, it's kind of wild. Would you rather have the ultimate gaming setup, gear, PC monitors, but no audience to share it with, or a basic setup with a loyal fan base watching your every move?
Jeez, that's tough. That's tough because I do like me a good gaming setup. I'm looking at that one right in front of me. That's pretty solid. However, having a loyal fan base, watching my every move is a little scary. But thinking that they're not watching me go to the bathroom, I would have to go with that one.
Probably
'cause
watching every move on stream.
Yeah, it's
On
How about
stream.
that?
streaming.
So
We'll change it to that, so it's not so scary.
if I don't
So,
have
like-
my camera in my hand,
Yeah.
while I'm going to the bathroom,
It stays over there.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Just
definitely-
every little tiny
Everything.
every gaming thing you
Yeah.
possibly do is being watched. Like
definitely that.
every time you have a bad day or whatever, you're being shitty.
I think I'd go with that too.
I don't really care about a loyal fan base, so I'm gonna have the fun.
Sometimes it's just nice to. I enjoy streaming, and I enjoy obviously talking. So when I'm playing by myself and streaming, and there's not many people chatting, it's just kind of like it'd be fun if there was people in there chatting.
Right. Yeah. I experienced that a lot too. It's like, I'd stream solo tournaments and stuff. Well, I guess tournaments aren't really a good example because I didn't even look at chat sometimes.
I was gonna
But-
say you're not paying attention
Yeah,
to
I
chat
was gonna say
then.
that. But I'd like, when I was talking about that hour that I warmed up or whatever, I'd
Yeah.
turn the stream on then. That was fun. Just like being able to
That'd be
talk
a good
people.
time to do it. Yeah, when you're
right.
warming up, and that's good.
Yeah.
Would you rather relive your best gaming moment but lose all of your tech skills afterwards?
Oh, no.
Or never revisit that moment but become a tech genius who shapes the future of gaming?
Oh, no.
That's wild.
Do I want to win $100 again?
Maybe
I feel like this is a pretty
Don't-
easy answer.
don't think about it as
Yeah.
$100. Think about it as the feeling you
Yeah.
had.
I don't know. I feel like I could have that same feeling if I were to like completely be able to like change
Shape the
somebody's
future.
life with
Yeah.
like technology.
I
So,
don't-
Be a tech genius. So
A
you'll
tech
have that
genius who
moment.
shapes the
right.
future of gaming.
yeah, I think I'd have that because like you'd be able to give those opportunities to have your favorite gaming moment to other people.
Yeah, you get to watch everybody else do it and
Yeah.
experience the same thing.
Right.
I like that answer. That's a good one. That's the last one I got.
Those are good.
What'd you
Good
think of
job,
the whole
ChatGPT.
experience?
Those is fun. I love it. You guys
Like
got
it?
something great going on here.
Well, thanks, man.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. So where can the people get a hold of you? Give all your things, and we'll put it in the description of the video too.
The best way to do it is going on my website.
Knock on his door.
Yeah, knock on my door. Best way to do it is go on my website. I spent 500 hours making it, so if you don't mind going to it, that'd be cool. Frohbergcomputers.com. If you need anything, you can always, there's a bunch of tabs atop the. Wow, there's a bunch of tabs across the top where you can see all my services, really, or you can look at my portfolio and see that I do actually know a little bit about computers. But yeah, if you're looking for a computer, there's a tab for that, or if you want to fix your computer or upgrade it, there's tabs for that, and there's service forms. So if you have a fix that you want, you can go fill out a service form, and I will be able to receive it, and we can talk via email or whatever contact information that you give me. So I would say that's the best way to reach me and at least see what I'm doing here. So yeah, I'm on Facebook as well, Frohberg Computers. I just kind of post if I build a new computer, I'll post that, or if I'm kind of doing something cool and it's worth posting, I'll post something like that. I'd say that's the only business social media that I have.
You don't do Instagram or anything?
I don't do Instagram.
You ever thought about doing a TikTok?
I've been thinking about that because building computers is people love that. People
they do.
love watching it.
Yeah.
I love watching it.
I sit through and watch them when I come across them.
Right. Yeah. So people love doing that. And I've always thought about streaming it too.
That would be fun.
That's crossed my mind is just streaming it on Facebook or even TikTok if I
walking through the steps.
Yeah, or just building a computer, just chilling out. I think that'd be fun, but I don't know. I was talking to my dad about it, and he's like, "Well, I mean, you've done it for a while now. You've built computers for a while to the point you're gonna know what you're doing. So you're gonna make it look easier.
Oh yeah.
So, is that gonna make people just say, "Oh yeah, I can do this myself"? And of course, that takes business away from me. So, I don't know. There's two ways to look at it.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Yeah, because I don't know. I mean,
but there's some people that just ain't gonna do it.
Right.
Also, I would never build my own computer.
And if the videos go viral, you can make money.
Yeah, that's true too. That's a whole nother revenue stream you can discover.
Yeah. I like watching people do things that I wouldn't do, and I probably could do, but it's just not worth my time to do it. So it's videos. Hey, I know this guy does this, so this is somebody I'm going to go to.
So you could do instruction videos, but only do up to the point of finishing the whole thing.
Yeah.
It's this is how you put in this piece, and that's one video. This is how you put in this piece, and that's one video. And then you stop to the point of the end.
Nobody knows how to install Windows.
Nobody knows how to install Windows. Nobody knows how to put in the power supply.
Yeah.
Some of the last things that you'd have to do.
Yeah. Or cabling it. That was the biggest disaster when I was building that first computer.
That's why you just don't look in my PC.
Not look in your.
There's no cable management.
All right. But I didn't know where anything went. Even.
Right.
It was just I spent 2 hours, 3 hours just trying to figure out where do I put.
You can kind of look at it and go, well, male, female.
Well, I had that first computer. The case had all individual pins that for the front panel and the power supply or the power button, the hard drive LED. That was terrible because I didn't know what I was doing. And I was so scared
mine still does have individual pins for each one.
Yeah, a lot of newer ones luckily don't. They just they combine them all into a USB header. Yeah. But yeah, I was so scared because I didn't know if I messed it up, was I going to short something? Or it was I was so scared.
Right.
But
my scariest piece when I build anything that I've built is the processor. Yeah. I always think I'm going to bend a pin or something. Every time I do one, I hold my breath and
done it before.
Have you?
With a refurbished one, luckily.
Oh.
But
did your heart sink?
Yeah. Well, it wasn't beyond repair.
Oh,
you just get a needle and use the eye of the needle to kind of bend it.
Oh, you bend it back.
Yeah. I got these I went to Micro Center. I went to a vacation in Colorado, and we were in Denver. And I went to Micro Center for the first time.
Yeah.
Awesome. Absolute heaven. But they had these glasses. They were microscopic glasses. So I was able to
so you can
see the pins a lot easier with the eye of the needle. So it's pretty nice.
You got the ones that are all foldable. What's that cartoon where they?
Oh no, I don't have those. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. That's funny. Oh, that's cool, man. Anything else you want to get out on the show?
I don't think so.
Well, you got the time while you're here.
Go get a gaming computer. Gaming computers are fun.
They're
a lot better than a console. And I think if you have a computer, do you have a computer?
You got one now.
Oh well, yeah, but that's not a gaming computer.
It is a gaming computer.
Well, I'm not gonna game on it.
It's my old one.
I was just saying.
I will have.
He's got my old gaming computer. He does.
Really? Take advantage much of it, man.
I'm a console
It
guy.
is so much
I'm
better
a-
than a console.
I'm a NBA Live 19 guy.
I was gonna say, yeah, but that might
You can
not
play
be
it on there.
Sure,
Actually, I don't think
probably
you can. I don't
can.
think they have.
Probably
It's
can.
not
I
available.
don't know. Man.
I don't think it's available on Steam.
But get a gaming computer. It's so
What's
much
Steam?
better than a console.
It's where we get most of our like. It's like what do you call it? It'd be a launcher.
Oh.
It's a
Yeah.
store and
It's
launcher.
it's like
Oh, it's like you don't go buy games. It's all online.
Yeah, we buy them
Base.
there.
Mhm.
Yeah. That's pretty much how anything is anymore.
Yeah.
You don't go buy discs anymore.
No.
Well, yeah, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
and
so
you
it's-
don't go like from the site either. So like you're not gonna go to COD.com, CallOfDuty.com or whatever it is.
It makes it
back
better,
in
so
the
there's no chance of like downloading a virus or.
yeah,
it's safer.
It's very safe and it's very like optimized too.
There's only so many launchers. You got like BattleNet,
I hate
Steam,
that on that. Oh my
Epic,
God.
EA,
Yeah, Origin.
or yeah. So there's only like a handful. Then there's like where I get a lot of my Minecraft mods. It has its own launcher.
Mm-hmm.
That's where we got like our Lethal Company mods too. So
I was like Minecraft. I think is like one of the only games with its own launcher.
yeah,
Never really noticed anything else with its own launcher like that. It's pretty cool.
it is. I guess that's another one. Yeah, it's nice because you can. It's so customizable,
Oh man.
and Minecraft
yeah.
is endless because like all the different mods, like mod
Yeah.
packs that we can play. I'll never get bored of it.
You can play old Minecraft whenever you want to because you can
Yep.
have that version control. It's pretty nice.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, you can literally go all the way back to the original.
Yeah.
Still,
I thought it was all the original.
they're on update like 1.21 or something.
I
so
mean,
there's
doesn't
been-
it all look the same?
Not
there's
even close.
texture differences. There's mechanic differences. There's different biome. There's a whole.
Yeah.
Don't get me started. Do a whole podcast on Minecraft.
Yeah.
We'll make sure you're not here for that one.
Perfect. I'd appreciate that.
I'll bring Dylan on for
Yeah.
that one.
There
Yeah.
you go.
All right,
The
man.
first
Well, we'll
in
probably
line.
end it there.
All right.
If that's right with you.
That's
You
totally
got
fine.
everything out you wanted?
I believe so.
Comfortable?
Yeah, I'm comfortable.
Perfect. Well, thanks to my co-host Vance Neidig. Without him, the show would not be what it is. Huge thanks to Dylan Frohberg. Really appreciate you making time to be here for today.
Of course. Wouldn't want to miss it.
Thank you.
Awesome. Keep on the lookout for more great episodes, and we'll see you guys next week.